Hello, everyone. It's gonna be a long night. We're gonna be here for a while, likely. I mean, the let's start. Today, if you are not aware, is the United States general election. The president is up for on the ticket, up to be voted on. The House is being voted on. Don't ignore that. That isn't supposed to ignore the ad in the background. I'll fix that later. Okay. So the House will be voted on as it is every 2 years. And then I don't know which class of Senate is this election, but it's not a favorable one for Democrats. I'm going to be here until however long it takes for the races to be called and stuff, which may be until my harder limit is like 4 a.m. Like if it isn't called by 4 a.m., it's not being called for days. So that's like the go to sleep time. But it can very well be like called like at like 3 a.m. or something as to who's winning, who will win. It could also happen at 8 p.m. That's possible. So it's theoretically possible. Unlikely though. We have all sorts of feeds to be looking into. I'm very into politics. I consider myself as some flavor of socialist. I paid great attention in 2016 and 2020, and my claim to fame is that I did think Trump was going to win in 2016. So I'm pretty credible, more credible than some pollsters, some might say. I don't have too official of a prediction this year because I've frankly only really paid attention like the past week. I've like scaled up my like how much attention I'm paying to the election, like heavily, because it's mostly just so fucking depressing and shit now. So I don't really like looking at it that much. But I am kind of excited to do this. I kind of thrive off of this shit. We've got we're gonna look through this stuff, some forecasting stuff. We also got some election results up. There's like one or two like places in Indiana and Kentucky that do close at 6 p.m. and those are starting to get reported. I think they're pretty meaningless. We'll see. New York Times up here. No, this is not new. That was New York Times. This is Decision Desk HQ. We got the Associated Press up here. This is where like every news station gets their information from, basically. Is the Associated Press. They exclusively focus on like reporting factual information and not like any editorializing or anything. Though they do have some, like they have like a live feed here. Nothing too interesting has happened so far except some exit polls. We have New York Times live feed. We have Dave Wasserman, who is like the number one person to pay attention to on any election night. This dude knows his fucking shit. He runs Cook Political Report. Amazing fucking thing. Red on the AP map? Yeah, you did. It's like 1%. He doesn't have enough electoral votes. Hold on. When no one will win. We can't say that yet. And of course, we got Donald Trump's Truth Social feed just to see what he's up to. Heavy law enforcement's in Philadelphia and Detroit, apparently, according to him. See what he's saying. I don't know if this is gonna load. What? I can't imagine he built this site very well. Oh yeah, Robert F. Kennedy, if Trump gets elected, he's supposed to be like the head of like some health agencies and shit, which is insane. That's terrifying. Do not want that. Do not want that. Is this just a flag waving? And then we also have some old election results to consult from 2020 and 2016. Does this not have a map? What the fuck? Where's the map? God damn it, Politico. Trusted you. We'll look at it anyway. And here we got good old 2016, which many do not have favorable feelings about. And we also have live streams. We will check these out. We will watch some of these. They give quick information. They also give more opinions. We get to see them talk about their magical walls and shit. Interesting interviews sometimes. Exit polls. We've already gotten some exit polls as of like an hour ago. We have the Steve Kornacki cam here, and Steve Kornacki is pretty cool. Love his magic wall stuff. And we also have this generic Associated Press feed, which just has feeds into Harris's and Trump's like watch parties, so to say. There's this Nevada like polling center, I guess. I heard about them talking a little bit about it on NBC. Where it's like some kind of like, it's like this big ass polling center, and they got like people playing music, and it's like they got activities and shit there. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. And then we also just got the projection map. AP is the one who calls elections. Like when a news agency is like, Wisconsin is won by Robert F. Kennedy, like there'll be an asterisk on the graphic saying like, you know, from Associated Press, by, you know, according to Associated Press. And here we have some of the fucking exit polls. This is a new one. And the first major polls close in 48 minutes. So we're going to be kind of chilling for a little bit. We'll be talking.
Howard University in Washington, where the vice president is holding her watch party. Peter, give us a sense of what you're hearing and seeing.
I want to see Donald Trump's unfavorabilities or favorability. But we're going to first take a look at this, which is 538's model for who's going to win the election. And it's like, it's debatable how useful it is, but it is also like a bit of a launching point. Because there's been a lot of talk this year about a thing called herding in the polls, which is basically when pollsters only release polls when like the result lines up with other pollsters, which just creates this big feedback loop. And there's some pretty good statistical evidence that this is happening. So it's theorized that polls are just not really accurate, especially this year, like intentionally, and that it could be underestimating Harris, or it could be underestimating Trump. And just like a few days ago, there was a big poll by Ann Selzer, who is this pollster who has a very good track record, sticks to kind of more traditional methods for polling. She's sort of famed for her outlier results in 2016 and 2020 in terms of Iowa. She only polls Iowa. That ended up being correct, while everything else ended up being wrong, basically. I remember her name very much so from the last elections, and from what I know, she is a very good pollster. She is pretty much the best in the business. I have put a lot of stock into her poll. It is pretty much like the only poll really worth trusting or putting stock into, and that has gave me some strong optimism for Harris, where Harris is leading Iowa by +3, which is like a 10 plus point swing towards Harris since 2020. We can check here. Wait, the map wasn't here last time. Am I insane? What? Okay. Iowa. So Biden was the +3. Yeah. 8-point swing. So even if it's like off, by completely within the margin of error, that is very good for Harris across the Rust Belt. And I've seen a lot of people say like Harris is not going to win Iowa, but it must mean she's doing really well. I think Harris legitimately can win Iowa if based on that poll result. I wouldn't say it otherwise. But another thing I've heard a lot is you don't really want to bet against Ann Selzer. She's pretty great. And if she does win Iowa, that pretty much means a Rust Belt sweep. You get Michigan. You guess here. We'll go to here. I got the interactive map up here. You get Michigan. Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me bring up a different one. I know this place has one. They're also having live result things here. See if I can find it. interactive map. Here we are. Can we like do the default states? Okay, well, whatever. If you get Iowa, you sweep Wisconsin, you sweep Michigan, you sweep Pennsylvania, Ohio goes into play. And actually, if we look here, this is a tool also by 538 where you change the results of a state and it shows you how that would have ripple effects across the rest of the map. So if we assume she wins Iowa, Trump loses. He can't win. Ohio becomes competitive. Texas becomes competitive. Florida becomes competitive. Ignore the cars. I will fix that after. Pennsylvania is Democrat. Arizona is Democrat. Nevada is Democrat. Georgia is Democrat. North Carolina is Democrat. It's a full board sweep. It's a blowout. It's a landslide. So right now, Harris is definitely. If you're going into this election, you want to be Harris right now. Harris, it has the momentum and the data on her side, pretty much. This also has some other interesting utilities. Like you can see here, the likelihood of a state being the tipping point state. So most likely is Pennsylvania. But here you can see like Iowa's here. So you can see, so if Iowa's one, then you can make the inference, okay, so ME2, Florida, Arizona, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, I mean, those are givens at that point. And then you look back a little bit, it's like, okay, well now Texas and Ohio. Now with Texas, the demographics and culture doesn't line up as well as like Ohio, so it's a lot less likely she'd win Texas if she wins Iowa than Ohio. So I do not think she's going to win Texas. She will, if she wins Iowa, she will likely be pretty fucking close in Ohio. And Ohio also has a Senate race going on with Sherrod Brown, who has generally done quite well and is in a tight race right now because he's a Democrat in Ohio, which is generally pretty red now. So with him driving turnout potentially, and Kamala and Sherrod kind of bouncing off each other in Ohio, that could do pretty well. That could be pretty interesting. I want to just see if there's any exit polls or anything going on. They have a little few. Oh. Yeah, that sounds right. That pretty much lines up with like anything else you can hear in data nowadays. This is like a little fun section. What do we got here? No candidate wins the majority of electoral college votes. That is very improbable this election. I think that was pretty probable in 2020. That was like a decent possibility. Not like that decent, but like it was too much. Like a 4 out of 100 times. And you can see the kind of breadth of possible scenarios. And with Iowa, you would be looking at the upper end here for Kamala. You can kind of see how it's changed over time, which Trump has somehow gotten more likely to win over time. But this is, of course, all based on polling, which, as I discussed, may not be too credible this time around. Here we can see Pennsylvania was tight margins. Ohio was it was pretty much the same margin as like Iowa. So you get Iowa, things start falling in place. Let's see if Trump has anything to say. There's also definitely going to be some specific counties to watch out for. There's the concept of bellwether counties. It's like, oh well, if this county picks this candidate, I mean, they'll win. I think that's kind of bullshit. Like, they're all, like, fucking every county is a bellwether until they aren't. It doesn't really mean that much. It was not to vote this election cycle, but when I heard someone at the Trump rally in New York refer to Puerto Rico as an island of garbage, I made a decision to cast a ballot for Kamala. There are 15 people in my family, and we all came to vote. There's probably going to be a decent number of stories about that, and that's coming from Pennsylvania. That comment was not fucking good. Oh, I didn't know that we had a new libertarian candidate. That almost resulted in no nominee. He used to be a Democrat, left-leaning segment. Opposes all restrictions to gun. Nah, man, get the fuck out of here. We'll definitely see plenty of third-party votes. Not that much, but still. Here we can check it on Indiana reporting. 52% of votes in. I don't know the margins compared to last year. It's also a useful thing to have these streams up. They will be telling you this stuff. No, I want to put this up and see if they're talking about it. Dude fucking left the wall. Where'd he go?
I take you to another battleground state, and we'll get back to Shaq in a second, and that is the state of Georgia. Polls
recount
are there in just
absentee
about 40
ballots
minutes from now. Remember, this was a very close, razor-thin margin.
Are they
back
declaring
with former President Trump's loss.
any mail-in vote as a mail-in ballot? If so, that's going to take. That's going to add a fuck ton of time.
Election is being conducted fairly and.
30K. Okay, I don't know exactly how long that's going to end up taking. Hopefully not too long. Because I don't think any of us want to go until like Saturday again. I don't think the officials do. I don't think the people do. And see the trends. Start the seal. Election 2024, blah, blah, blah. Blue mirages. Yeah. We know that. What should we focus on for now? Well, we saw another result pop up here. What I want to do is check how those counties voted in 2020, so maybe we can get some sort of indication of how things are going. If this will let me click into the county view, of course. We'll look up somewhere else. CNN, maybe? All right. Where was I looking? Okay. What has the most percentage of votes in? Is it bigger percentage of votes? Yeah, okay. So Lawrence County. Donald Trump is winning by like a fucking 50-point margin. That's pretty much in line. Harris is doing slightly better. Looks like. Okay, so they're winning by. How many Du Bois counties are there? I'm not great at math. They're winning by that much. Is that basically the same? Yeah, that's pretty much the same. So not much Kamala gains out here so far based on the vote reporting, but there's not that much reporting yet here, so take it with a grain of salt. Wells County, pretty much the exact same margin. But I mean, Biden won, so it's not like that's the worst position to be in. What is this? Steuben? 70%. 67. She's making up a few points in Steuben, actually. That's something.
And Democrats, they just want to make sure that there's some transparency there. So they're recounting those ballots. That might mean a later night here in Milwaukee. But outside of that, everything has been going smooth. I want you to take a look inside.
I mean, that's a pretty sizable speed bump.
The clerk says that the line this morning stretched out of the door that it went.
I have heard of a fuck ton of long lines, which really says more about how organized we are with fucking voting.
Of Wisconsin's same-day registration and go into that table that you were just looking at and actually register in person on this election day. I'll tell you my favorite story, Hallie, is that someone.
Oh, what's that? Does Associated Press have their own offices?
And it's going to
what the fuck? What are those guys dancing back there? Wait, what?
To do such a thing because of the filibuster.
What is Harris' team doing?
A lot is at stake for either president if they don't have control of the House. For sure.
Let's talk a little bit about this
so silly.
In particular. Where are some of the races that you're watching
most
closely tonight?
They need a coat?
What's on your radar?
Yeah, I think Montana and Ohio. I mean, you have two
he's
senators
dancing.
there, Senator John
Breaking it
Tester
down.
and Senator Sherrod Brown, who have been there for several
terms.
terms.
I don't know what they're doing.
In those
they got like a
really
catwalk
elections this cycle, and what you're going to see there is that is the difference. You know, 1 seat, 2 seats is the difference between Republicans having control and Democrats having control, and Republicans feel.
Yeah, if
really
Kamala ends up sweeping with the presidential, then Democrats could potentially keep the Senate, but generally Kamala's seeming like is not going to be able to keep the Senate.
Close at 7 p.m. Georgia is the one to watch. You've also got 7:30 poll closings in North Carolina. Ohio is interesting as well. There's a key Senate race there, and you can see the.
This is for 7:30.
That you need to be circling on your map at home, and I'm sure you have one. As our special coverage here of Decision 2024 continues to.
We got anything going on here? No, he's just standing there. What is he looking at? What's he got there? Alright. See what we got going on. I mean, I don't know if this is refreshing properly, so I'm just gonna refresh it. Yeah, Trump is already, like, fucking peddling out claims that Philadelphia is doing some bullshit? What the fuck are they talking about? Who is talking about this? What do you mean? He's already casting doubt because he is scared of losing Pennsylvania. Oh no, a fucking major urban area votes Democrat. Who could have guessed that happening? He's just looking. Trump or allies? Ugh, I'm having trouble speaking to that. Yeah, start the steal. Let's fucking go. Howard Black Greek practice strolling in advance. This is what's happening? Black Greek organizations are practicing strolling, a tradition in Black Greek organizations. Known as the Devon. Wait, I was reading that. Happened this year. Okay, it doesn't explain what the fuck strolling is. Hours at Georgia polling places extended following bomb threats, which apparently were from Russian domains. At 5 polling places in Fulton. Okay, Fulton's important, so that's notable. Okay, 45 minutes, that's fine. Exit poll. So that's not good for Harris, because people generally think Trump is better on the economy, and she has been doing worse with Hispanic and Black people. And I mean, this is probably, you know, the pinpoint as for why Harris is doing worse with them. Recount. Okay, here we go. Here we got a few. Are these exit polls or are these polls from before? I'm gonna assume these are exit polls. You see that Harris is a strong leader. Is Kamala Trump better than Trump has 1 point and multiple. Trump has lost points on him with old people, which is not good. Old people have been getting more popular with Harris, which is like most of Republicans' base. So it's not what you want to hear. Young people have extremely swung for abortion being legal. Wait, oh no, this is a different question. Okay. Don't know why that's in the same thing. Oh, here, you can change the questions. So would you say Joe Biden is the myth? Would you say Joe is healthy enough? Would you say Donald Trump cares about people like you? I want to see what that is. Where is it? I don't see it. God damn it. How important? Abortion is like the #1 issue, I believe. Why are these all different questions, man? How am I supposed to compare? Unfavorable or unfavorable? I hope they asked about Mike Pence this time around. I want to know how that opinion has changed. Extend voting hours, okay. So, yep. Small set of polls goes to 6, yep. A white substance was found on the ballot envelope in Salt Lake County, Utah. Someone doing cocaine on their ballot? Is that it? Is that the implication? Yep, okay. Oh, here we go. Has blocked a local judge of elections from doing, okay. Okay. He's just twiddling around. They got some cams in some places, more cams. Trump say anything? What time is it? Okay. Three new updates. An hours long wait. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, it is very locked. Deadlocked. But as I said about the herding, I'm not really sure it's going to matter. Or mean anything. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. That was good to know. Fuck. But I missed it. Where'd they go? Why do I hear what sounds like pissing? Here we go. Likely to finish Wednesday. Georgia counts fast. North Carolina counts fast. Pennsylvania likely to take longer than election night. Michigan could finish before Wednesday. Arizona, Nevada could take days, Okay. Why is Pennsylvania supposed to maybe take long? Man, I fucking hate the New York Times for this shit. I just want, like, on this election day, like, make it free for fuck's sake. God forbid. 23 most competitive House races. Oh. Rated by the Cook Political Report. They do a lot of that shit. I don't get distracted by mean tweets or that other nonsense. What? Mayor Eric Adams explicitly named Kamala Harris as his candidate of choice. Man, fuck Eric Adams. Why is he not resigned? What the fuck is he doing? Dude, no one gives a fuck about your opinion. I swear to fucking God. Or did Elon Musk say something? I got some nerds, some leftover Halloween candy to eat tonight. Meet or break its voter turnout record set in 2020. That's pretty fucking good. Wasn't 2020 like the highest turnout we've ever had? Highest turnout election percentage wise? Let's see. Percent of voter age population. Yeah, that was the second most. What happened on the 1960? Kennedy versus Nixon. Oh, it was like equal. Damn. If we beat that, that'd be pretty crazy, but I could see it happening. Especially with abortion. Abortion. That's going to be the number fucking one thing turning people out.
Sending additional support. That support coming in the form of
that's going to be the difference.
Assistance. Some of the stars of the Avengers film series, Don Cheadle, Paul Rudd, Mark Ruffalo, campaign sources tell me will be arriving there to help keep those individuals energized, to keep them in line. We're also told that state election officials are sending additional polling stations there so they can try to get through those lines a little bit more quickly. One thing they feel good
the Avengers coming to tell you who to vote for. Is that voter intimidation?
Right now, Savannah and Lester, the numbers according to early exit polls show that Kamala Harris is at 48% in terms of her favorability. Compare that to 44% for former President Trump. But notably, Joe Biden, the current president, is at 41%. That means that Kamala Harris is outperforming the man along whom she ran in 2020, with whom she served for the last 4 years.
Candidate quality most matter. Ability to lead can bring needed change. Has good judgment. Cares about people. I wouldn't say any of these things for like any of the candidates.
Garrett Haake is at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Garrett, the former president has been posting on social media today, already talking about widespread cheating. What is he saying?
That's right, Lester, and his posts running contrary to the campaign's spin, their official statements at the moment right now. Listen, they came here tonight.
Who the fuck is saying it's secure?
On the floor of the Palm Beach Convention Center, an absolutely massive ballroom that they have booked out, ready to throw a huge victory party, something that didn't really happen in 2016, a race that's victory surprised even Donald Trump, and of course didn't happen in 2020 when they lost. I just got off the phone with a senior Trump
1% in.
Who told me they are cautiously confident in what they've been seeing across the battleground.
That's really relevant. It's really necessary to show.
Calls to radio stations in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, urging his supporters to go vote, stay in line if they're already there, and trying to focus on an economic message, something that they've always felt is better for them on the.
Do we have more for them from those Indiana counties?
All of that said, the former president's social
here we got a city.
Undermine the confidence he is projecting just a short time ago.
That's close.
Without any particular evidence
that's close for a city.
About massive cheating, in his words, in Detroit.
Yeah, it should not be that close. I guess maybe it's just the votes that counted first.
And ironically, places, at least in the case of Detroit, where he actually performed better in 2020 in a loss than he did in 2016.
Anything interesting here? No, none of these have like any fucking votes in.
Campaign, and especially in its closing days, that he believes the only way he could lose is if there is some kind of cheating out across these battleground states. We'll be watching to see what else he has to say about it tonight. Lester?
Yeah,
Garrett,
fucking bullshit.
We'll go to battleground Pennsylvania now. NBC's Jacob Soboroff is in Philadelphia, where they've actually added two extra voting machines at one polling station because of the huge crowds. Jacob.
Yeah, Lester,
why not just vote early? Who's voting out on election day? Like, what are these motherfuckers doing?
It used to stretch all the way down to the next avenue over here. Now the line, which was about 2.5 hours long, is quickly moving inside.
What's that light up fucking sunglasses she has?
Full closing time here at Temple University. This is one of 1,703 different election divisions all across the city of Philadelphia. That's the same jurisdiction as the county of Philadelphia. 700 polling places. About 500,000 people were expected to vote in person today. Some of those students who had been waiting 2.5 hours are quickly inside right now. As you can see, they're coming out
Yeah,
at
there's
a
mostly
pace
some
that
getting
we
people.
haven't seen all day.
He seems
After
proud.
they added those 2 machines you referenced, it is, as you said, a positive sign for the Harris campaign. But of course, until all the ballots are cast and counted, we won't know that for sure, Lester.
I like his hair.
All right,
He's kind of
right
attractive.
over here at the big board, 270. We mentioned it is the magic number tonight. That is what it will take to win the White House. Each campaign.
Bernanke doing anything? No. Anything happening at the Harris campaign or Trump campaign? Nope. Dave Wasserman have anything to say? I'm not gonna click the hashtags. That seems like asking for trouble. What the fuck was that? He was taken by police? Taken to police custody at polling site. What the fuck did he do? For harassment in Queens. Yeah, Rip Bozo. On the phone bank for Representative Colin Allred. Yeah. U.S. Senate in Texas. Wonder how fast we're gonna get the Senate results. I don't know how quick they can in Texas. Can we they have a Senate forecast as well. Also have a live blog. We'll add that to the feeds. 5:30 Senate forecast. And we'll also look up House forecast. Yeah, we're only looking at a Senate control for Democrats if it's a Kamala blowout. They should have something less than the competitive. Yeah. I mean, no, not for first results. It's what the fuck are they doing at Kamala? It's not for first results, it's for polls closing. Results will start trickling in from there. Georgia is the main one that's going to be done then, and it's supposed to be, and they're supposed to get results out quickly, relatively, you know. Do they have a list of who's competitive and who's not? This is kind of hard to look at. Yeah, so here we have Sherrod Brown in Ohio. That's the main Senate toss-up. They want to win Florida, which doesn't seem likely. They want to win Texas, which doesn't seem likely. Oh, why did it bring me to Ohio? Oh, here we go. This is it. Wisconsin. Keeping that. Pennsylvania. Independent in Nebraska. It's interesting. What the fuck's happening in Nebraska? Are they libertarian? Yellow usually means libertarian. Huh. Just that he's going to keep being a big player in American politics. After that, the state judge has decided that 5 voting locations can openly. Yep, none new. Okay. Pennsylvania officials, yep. Detroit Police Patrol Convention Center, where ballots are being counted. Why? Barricades are up outside the room. Escalators. Everyone has to go through metal detectors. Why? What's happening in Detroit? A potential shooting at Detroit polling center. What the fuck? Did that actually happen? Against any. Why is this only from fucking 6 hours ago? Anything interesting here? 5. A shorthand guide for watching election night results. Likeliest tipping point states. Yeah, okay, you're just showing us the swing states. We fucking know that. Okay, this seems interesting. So... Democrats need to be getting plus 61 points in Philadelphia. If they're doing better than that, that means they're doing good. If you're doing less than that, that means they're doing bad. Okay. Simple enough. Did they set this for other states? Yes, they did. So why don't we take a look at the little results we have so far. Indianapolis, that's not much in, so I'm not going to check that out yet. I guess this is the most reporting thing, which is Bartholomew County. Already? In Indiana? Two in Kentucky. Were either of these... I imagine these must be solid fucking red. They were uncontested. No one ran against them. That's why they were called. Let me also open this up. What the fuck is this doing in my tabs? Okay. Here we go. Alright, where was I before I was rudely interrupted? Lawrence, Bartholomew County. Let's check it out. Bartholomew, it's like, oh, here we go. So Republicans seem to be winning by 13 points. 59, wait a second, don't worry about it. 59 minus 39. Wait, did I do that right? 59 minus... Wait, it's 20. It's 20. I got it. It's 20. So they're doing pretty good there. But again, grain of salt, this doesn't actually mean that much right now. Less than half of voters are very confident about ballot counts. I've never really been worried about whether ballot counts are going to be fucking counted correctly. It's fine to me. Pink limousine. What are they doing here? Yeah, you can't. Just fucking DM me on Discord if you need me if you want me to look at anything. And just tell me you did so I can check. What is the Harris campaign doing? I want to bring up a stream of, are they singing? Harris. Harris. Is there a live feed of it? Oh. No? Okay. Okay, I guess. Couldn't I do anything? No.
We should be getting the
Alright,
results
let's see what's going on here.
faster compared to 2020, as you alluded to. The Secretary of State says that we could have unofficial
we should get it
here in Michigan by around noon tomorrow. This time around, for this presidential election, this is the first one where in Michigan, municipalities can pre-process absentee ballots. They're not releasing those results, but they can get those votes ready to be tabulated and
who the fuck thinks
to the public.
Harris is an extremist?
Obviously,
I fucking wish she was.
In this state, we are told by the Secretary of State that 95% of
Crazy
the
shit.
absentee votes have been pre-processed already.
Gay
and so
Dagnog?
will potentially
Was that someone's
accelerate the
name?
timeline compared to 2020, where there was a vacuum of time that led to issues and misinformation and a lot of concern. And so that's something that we're going to be watching for, how that plays out. I got off the phone a short time ago with Congresswoman Haley Stevens from the Detroit area.
I'm gonna keep this on. I'm gonna go piss real quick.
She's a Democrat. She tells me that if we see over
Extreme on women's rights?
Detroit,
yeah.
that gives Democrats
obviously
reason
just
to
like
smile, but there are
illegalizing abortion is correct.
in the electorate we're watching for in the state.
That's where women deserve to be. They need to know their place. I'd be kind of into it. I'll be right back.
Community in this state will be paying close attention to. We have a third-party candidate, Jill Stein, who has made a concerted effort to appeal to that community. That's one of several things we'll be watching for tonight. Savannah, back to you.
All right, Jesse, we waited till Wednesday afternoon in 2020 to get Michigan's results. We'll see if they improve on that record. In about 10 minutes, the first polls will close, and our decision desk here at NBC will make the first projections of the night. We've got Tom Yamas here to pull back the curtain. I think a lot of people wonder, how do they do this, and how careful are we? And you're going to give us a sneak peek.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, right? Because all through the night, you'll hear us projecting states, sometimes within minutes of polls closing, other times, as Savannah mentioned, days later. So tonight, we wanted to give you an inside look to show you how our team makes those calls.
Tonight, election officials across the country on a mission to count millions of ballots. They then report out their tallies, where our decision desk pulls them in and gets to work. John Lipinski runs the decision desk.
We have zero tolerance for errors.
His job, project the winner in each race, often before all the votes are counted.
Election night 2020.
Polls like this one in 2020 came just seconds after the
Man,
polls closed.
you should stop giving women's rights.
President will easily carry Indiana.
So when
You talk more about women's wrongs. Am I right?
With only 7% of the vote in. How's that possible? We leveraged exit poll data and actual real vote returns.
Yeah, what I want to know is, like, they're talking about full results for Michigan noon tomorrow, but I want to know, when are we going to be able to confidently call it tonight? Because that's a very different thing.
Analyzed by data experts.
Very different thing. I guess they can. I guess that all depends on the margins, really.
The main factors: how big is the difference between the two candidates, and how much vote has yet to be cast.
Polls closing soon in 6 states. Oh boy. Yeah, nice meme. I'm feeling all right. I think Harris is going to win. I mean, the exit poll data is feeling favorable for Harris. As well as I think the polls beforehand, specifically the Seltzer poll in Iowa. But we don't really have any real results yet from anywhere except like rural Indiana and Kentucky, which doesn't really tell us anything. But I'm expecting a Harris win, though I think Trump still unfortunately has a solid chance, but I think Harris is the favorite.
I can tell you, they take their job so seriously. They're mathematicians, they're scientists, they're journalists. Thank God they do the math.
I mean, he's like, I think he's trying to set the stage. Like, he's complaining about the voter fraud in Philadelphia. I think that if he loses, he will say, like, well, I knew about this. You know, we need to investigate this. And if he wins, he's just gonna be like, well, we defeated them because we just have so many people, we got so many votes, which is so much better. And, you know, he probably will, like, just drop the cases. He probably won't care after that. You know? He's planting the seeds. I don't know if he read how, like, much he really thinks he's going to win or not. If he actually thinks he's going to win. I don't think he thought he would win in 2016.
Really well. Stay online. Don't get off.
It's so fucking gaudy, this place. Oh my god, that zoom in. It's fucking like gold ass
We're gonna have a big victory tonight.
ballroom. He was in NY to help the house races so we could steal it? What do you mean? To help the house races? You mean the one competitive one in New York? The one house race? He's gonna try to contest whatever. I don't know if he's really gonna bother to go to bat for the house, to be honest. That's true. That is true. You're not wrong. And that is definitely a scary possibility, but I don't think he is going to be able to do that. I think that shifting the house to that degree with how things are feeling is going to be difficult. This is actually this shows that it is closer as I had understood. So that is a little scary. I can see that happening. I don't know if he'd be successful in such a scenario still. I mean, shit would really hit the fan then. If like Kamala actually wins and he actually goes through with that. But I feel like he's going on trial in like a few fucking days or like in a week. He has a bunch of court cases against him. I feel like if he loses the election and it's like not like super, it's not like razor thin. And even if it is, I feel like the Trump empire collapses a bit. I mean, he was president for 4 years. He loses one election. He loses on the next one he does. He's fucking old. He's losing his mental faculties. Republicans can see that. Most of the Republicans don't like the guy. They just like him because he wins. And if he no longer wins, then they don't want him anymore. You know? He's not going to be able... He's probably not going to be able to run again in 4 years. He's probably going to be dead. I feel like he, at that point, his fate is up to the courts. Republicans will probably there'll probably be some throwing, a bit of a hissy fit, but they don't really need the allegiance to Trump anymore. But I don't know where it really goes after that. I don't really know where the Republican Party goes. I don't know what a post-Trump party is, but I feel like if Trump loses this time, that has to be the start of a post-Trump Republican Party. I don't think they're going to want to surround himself. I don't think he's going to run in 4 years. I don't think he's going to be alive. I think in 4 years, maybe one of his kids will. That's possible. I don't think he runs in 4 years. I don't think he's going to want to. I don't think Republicans are going to go on to. If he does anything, he's going to go hard on contesting this election. But I don't think he gets 4 years, especially with all the court cases in the system too. One of those is bound to fuck him over. The issue is that if he becomes president, then he can just say, actually, I'm immune. I'm actually cool. I'm not going to jail, right? If he isn't president, then yeah. You see, I'm hoping for an Andrew Yang last minute sweep. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. I haven't thought about his VP. Maybe like Robert F. Kennedy. I think that would be a good one. What a ticket. Something about his forward party or some shit. I'm sure he would fucking be like, oh yeah, I'm sure Robert F. Kennedy is like, he's a fun guy. Andrew Yang really went off the deep end. That's a whole different topic. Eric Adams VP? Eric Adams on a ticket? Oh, that'd be so fucking bad. I remember like no, what was the joke I heard? Lori Lightfoot, president, the fucking mayor of like Chicago, and Eric Adams VP. Hell on earth. What is Kornacki doing? Why am I watching Kornacki's back? Let's see what's going on. Refresh. Musk says his PAC will expand. I don't know if he should be telling everyone that. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I want to know that personal information. However, I have the weeks. Why? Americans may have to deal with another Golden State slog. Stay out of some nations, yeah. 5 Republican-held seats are toss-ups. Sends mail-in ballots to everyone. Must examine signatures, processing each ballot individually. So they're gonna take a fuck ton. Okay, that's fine. I guess that may mean we are waiting weeks to see who gets control of the House. I'm mostly concerned about getting the presidential results tonight. The other ones are secondary. Oh, dekalb. I'll click that one. I'll see hopefully there's nothing too bad here. I feel like when I click you click trends on Twitter, there's some random porn half the time. So is there new bomb threats in DeKalb County? Yeah, okay. Cops are on the ground evacuating everyone. We're suspending voting at these polling locations. Okay. This shit's insane because, I mean, supposedly that some of the other bomb threats came from Russian domain. So I guess Russia just wants, Russia wants Trump to win. And I guess they're betting on the Trump supporters being more enthused to get back online and vote. And DeKalb, I believe, is Atlanta territory, if I remember correctly. So that's mostly going to be Harris voters that are maybe walking away, even if it's just, like a 45-minute stop to clear it out. Which is fucking disgusting. And it's insane how we haven't really even fucking done anything to stop that. The Russian interference. Yeah, this is the Atlanta Metro. I remember hearing a lot about it in 2020. I'm guessing these are all probably updating with bad news. It's all happening in Milwaukee. Says the release of their final vote count will be delayed. Officials say, yep. Okay. They already mentioned this, so I don't know why they're putting this back again. Oh, and it's 7 p.m. Polls should have closed in about 6 states, including Georgia for the most part, except for the ones that were already got extended because of bomb threats earlier. And DeKalb will also probably be extended. Let's listen in to see what the results are. Vermont's already fucking
by about 16 points. Before that, it was
called for Kamala, which makes sense. Do we got anything here? I just saw that they had a Florida county with results. We got Kentucky called for Republicans. Indiana called for Republicans. 10% of the vote, 7% of the vote in Kentucky, 0% of the vote in Vermont, and they're calling Vermont. Fair enough, I guess. It's Vermont. I don't know what they're gonna do. We have 8% of the vote in Florida already. That's interesting. I didn't realize that they were one of the ones being gotten in right now.
The mayor there obviously were noted.
Why are these guys so behind? What the fuck are they talking about here? Okay, so we're gonna use this tool. No. Well, actually, yes. Do they have... Because if Iowa is truly competitive, like based off the poll, Florida should be a lot closer than we think it will be. So here we got Miami with 70%. Kamala's gained 61% of the vote here. We can see Miami-Dade County. Okay. Wait. Okay, no. We need Broward County. Okay, then this is... Kamala is doing worse, significantly worse in Broward than she needs to be at this point, with 70% of the votes already in there. That's bad. That's not really much of another way to put it. That's a decent chunk of the votes there. She should be doing better. Alright, you don't fucking show the county view. Fuck you. Let's take a look here. Here we got Broward. 64% Biden got. And Kamala is trailing just by a little bit. Okay. Kamala trailing Biden is not good. She was also trailing Biden in counties in Indiana that I looked at, rural counties. And this is an urban county that she's trailing him in. Just trailing him a little bit is the difference between the winner. That's not good. But I'm not overly concerned because it is still early and none of these are swing states or anything. These are not ones expected at all.
Given the events of the last week, you know, the fact that there's a large Puerto Rican population has made this of particular interest. We'll see, because there's the possibility here, these patterns we're used to where Republicans vote more on Election Day, you know, maybe that blows up a little bit this year, but we're going to see. That's been the pattern. We wanted to keep an eye out for that county. Again, all eyes, though, on Georgia. I'm hoping to see some light up here. What they're doing in Georgia, just so you know, I said Florida is one of the quickest, most efficient vote counting states in the country. Of all the big states, it is the most efficient. What they're doing in Georgia is trying to replicate what they do in Florida. In Florida, the law is half an hour after poll close, all the early vote reported out. In Georgia, it's now 1 hour, all reported out. So you see how fast it starts coming in.
I'm gonna keep this audio on for a moment while we check the feeds to see if there's anything else about the bomb threats.
In Georgia tonight. Look, we're about 5 minutes past 7, nothing yet. But again, if it goes to plan, we're going to get a lot fast here.
Oh, we're getting some results from Georgia. Okay, I think my dark theme extension is fucking things up here. Let me turn it off. Where are we going? Uncounted votes. County. Twiggs County is the only one reporting. Not much there yet. How much? 0% of the votes counted there. That's probably not even worth looking at, I'm not gonna lie. Let's also open up Florida. Florida's another one of interest. Miami, bro, this says 30%. The other one said 70%. This is 70% of votes in. Is AP lagging behind? No, these have the same vote tallies. The other one says 70, this says 30. I don't know why that is. That's a pretty big difference. I would trust Associated Press over New York Times because this is like the information hub. Orlando. Let's check how Orlando did in 2020. Not the right one. Orlando, 61%. What do we got going on here? 58%. Closer. Not great. Still early. Very much could completely change. Kornacki's not doing anything.
Right, and this is kind of the central part of the state. It cuts right through here. When you think about Florida, you can think about it in 3 parts. The Panhandle, it's very red. That's Trump country in a lot of those counties. South Florida, usually reliably Democratic, but Republicans have made some inroads. And it's this I-4 corridor that is really the swing region.
I mean, Florida is not looking close.
Area where you find a large number of Puerto Rican voters
as close as it hopefully should be.
I wanted to highlight this because we have 71% of the vote in.
The hope is, the idea is that if Harris was doing so good in Iowa based on the Seltzer poll, she sweeps the Rust Belt, but that does not translate to the Sun Belt, which means Florida, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada are still up for debate, but Harris should be doing better in the Rust Belt, ideally. So it is okay if she doesn't end up doing well in Florida, but it is still early.
He's now at 59%, so he's overperforming. Again, still a lot of vote out. Still a lot to do here and kind of see where the vote is going. But those are good signs for the president. Listen, Florida has
this does concern me, though. I am concerned.
In 2016, he won it in 2020. Actually, in 2016, when that political earthquake happened, it really happened once we started calling Florida. 30 electoral votes. The map gets very, very hard for Trump if he doesn't win Florida. Without Florida, his
100%.
blue wall and everywhere else kind of collapses.
He's pretty fucked if he doesn't win Florida.
Still very early right now, statewide. Only 18% of the vote is in. We can find out where that remaining vote is tonight. So you can see in the major cities, Tampa, we're still going to find.
Let's see if New York Times also has a needle up. That's something they usually do. The needle was interesting. They have Florida as having counted a shit ton. This still says 70%. I don't know where they would have the needle necessarily. Bernie Sanders wins re-election. Who could have guessed that? Okay, nothing surprising here. Georgia has closed. Polls in. Okay. Let's go to U.S. Senate. Nothing interesting here. Florida, uncontested. Nothing interesting. That's not even close. It's fine. Who cares? Look at Dave Wasserman, see if he's calling anything, saying anything interesting. Nope. Donald J. Trump. Telling people to vote in Pennsylvania. Alright. What the AP called Kentucky. Okay. If only make such a call if results from AP Vocast at poll close show a candidate leading by at least 15 percentage points. Okay, interesting. Sensical enough. Call the solid ones.
Watch throughout the course of the night, especially in what we saw in those early national exit polls, that a lot of people were identifying not as Republican, not as Democrat, but as independent. So that's a storyline to watch. I'll tell you another trend as we're talking about Florida. Osceola County has a large.
What are we talking about? Looks like more votes are coming in.
Biggest of any county, I believe, in Florida. And this is something that I've heard in my conversations with Democratic campaign officials and those close to the campaign, that they feel like that is
same thing. Nothing at Miami-Dade, which is going to be the strongest source of Democratic votes. Let's take a look at maybe like
polls close at 8 o'clock in Florida.
here, 69%.
Information for 7 o'clock poll close timings. I think that's part of the confusion
yeah, okay.
here. But we're talking about this Osceola County.
Let's shut them up. Let's take a look at what was the county name I just looked at? I don't remember. I have a bad memory. Forgive me. Brevard. Okay, Trump 57%. Trump's leading by an extra percent. Whatever, it's fine, I guess. Alachua, we don't got any results from there. Tallahassee, Biden 60, was it 65 or 63? 63. Kamala 62. Looking like a lot of just like a slight move against Kamala in Florida so far. Georgia, oh, we're getting some more results in Georgia. Rockdale County, Kamala 76%. Rock something. What was it? Rockdale. Oh, I just saw it. I just saw it for a second. But there we go. 69%. Almost 70%. For Biden. 76% for Kamala. Good news. That is a good indication. 61% Biden, 66% Kamala, 71% of vote-ins. These are counties around Atlanta, the urban metro area, falling for Kamala stronger with a decent number of votes in. Virginia also has some election results coming in, but that doesn't matter too much. How many votes are getting counted here? Alright, they're not talking about anything. Whew, I felt like I had to get into like, fucking gamer mode there. I'll try to micromanage everything at once. Look at everything. Alright, again, any interesting news or anything here? Anything on DeKalb? I would like to know what's happening in DeKalb. I don't know why no one else reported it. I don't know what's going on. Is this about earlier? This is not new? But this one, like this guy says, is currently on the ground. 5 more. Okay, this is 5 more places. Now, DeKalb. I guess you don't pronounce the L. DeKalb. DeKalb? 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 Although he is, debatable in usefulness, I will look up Nate Silver. Oh, well, he's right there. Twitter, instead we'll be launching our Silver Bulletin election coverage. Let's check this out. Recent updates. Okay, so nothing here yet. Florida game more results in. Broward County, let me check if the discrepancy is still there with Florida in the Associated Press. This says 44% for votes counted. These are very different numbers. I really would like to know why. I'm also going to look up another place to try to get something more comprehensive. This is in Desk HQ, is something that I've used in past elections. This is reporting 79% as well. I don't know if Associated Press is just being slow this year then. It's not, no, but they have the same vote tally. It's just that has different percentage reported. Oh, why? Okay. Senate election, incumbent. Kamala is outperforming the Democratic Senate option, which means there's some split ticket voting happening, at least 1%, which is a little weird. I guess that means that there's people especially disaffected by Trump versus caring about the Republican Party necessarily. And that's some Jill Stein voters. Jill Stein voters. Woohoo. Palm Beach has 83% in here. We want to look at Palm Beach. 56%. 52%. She is doing... The vibe I'm getting so far is that she's doing worse in Florida. She's doing better in Georgia, but Georgia could still very much change very quickly here. What's going on? 5% in, 6% in, 75. We already checked those two. Let's check our rural county. 78% in Camden. Camden, 64% Trump. 67% Trump. I would say it's just the urban and rural divide getting greater. But actually, in Florida, the urban counties, Kamala's also not doing as well as she should.
There is 86,000, but that's too early to call.
So we had some of our first poll closings. We await Arizona in a couple of hours from now. 11 electoral votes. We've got Gotti Schwartz there in Tempe, home to Arizona State University. Big lines there. A real split that you're seeing, that gender divide, Gotti.
Absolutely. Big lines, big turnout here at ASU. This is the 75-foot line. That's where the line starts. And let's take a walk, because this line is about 77 minutes long. If you're looking
We're so fucked if Trump wins.
The line extends all the way down, and you're seeing so many of these students turning out. You were just talking about that gender gap, and we've been talking to a lot of the students here, a lot of the female students. They say that they've been driven to the polls by the issue of abortion and the issue of how they think.
So for some reason you haven't voted yet, by the way, go vote if your place is still open, which is in most of America.
Guys here at ASU, many of them wearing those MAGA hats that have been given out along this line from organizers.
The Republican part of Georgia. So the question for Trump here, he's going to be winning these counties with 75, 80% of the vote. Trump just does not want to have slippage of 2-3 points even in these places from what he got in 2020. So let's just take a look here. Again, this is relatively small, but this is, okay, Trump got 81.3 in 2020.
Good.
He's at 80.3 right now. This is the early vote from Union County. Remember, one of these things that we saw in Georgia was Republican voters who were very hesitant to vote early, to vote by mail in 2020, really embraced early voting, especially in Georgia, just based on the numbers we were seeing from the early vote process. So look at all the early vote that came in from Union, very different from 4 years ago. And again, if the remaining 15 or so percent from Union is more Republican than what's come out, Trump could be hitting that number from 2020. Again, it's not close here, but every one of these counties, they add up. Trump wants to be maintaining the number he got in 2020, because if you multiply this, there's dozens of counties like this around the state, and if Trump's losing a point or two in all of them, that does start to add up statewide. So that's what we're going to be looking for in North Georgia. Sorry, I didn't mean to get out of the state there. Okay, Gwinnett. Let's see what's happening in Gwinnett. This is over 1 million people in Gwinnett.
Where is that?
This is like the most racially, ethnically diverse county in Georgia, one of them most in the country.
Near Atlanta, the big one? Yeah, there we go.
Votes. I thought I was setting up for a lot more there. But this is
I like how you can hear his fucking coworkers laughing. Polling places in battleground seats of Arizona, Michigan, and Georgia were targeted by bomb threats. Oh, man, what the fuck? Let's see, any new news here? No evidence of widespread fraud. Okay. Got that. Anything interesting here? Haven't really checked on these guys. Florida's counting fast. 1/3 of the vote in. Yes. See if Dave Wasserman has anything to say. Nope. Where is... Let's go to Decision Desk HQ if I can find it. Check out Florida. We got half of the vote in. Donald Trump is doing pretty fucking good. He is doing better than he did in 2020. It seems like he's doing better pretty much across the board in the urban areas and the rural areas in Florida. Florida might be a wash for Democrats right now. Too early to say definitively, but that's the feeling. Georgia's polling in votes so far. We already have like 2 major metropolitan counties with a significant amount of votes counted. Thomas just barely eking through with that right now in the total state vote. Not much to say there.
Of poll closing
Yes, that
in
isn't
big
true,
states. Ohio and one of the newest battlegrounds, North Carolina.
We are
Fucking
moments
hell.
away from the polls closing in 3 more states, including battleground North Carolina.
President Trump has
7:30?
won his state twice.
We're going to win North Carolina. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris.
But this year,
North Carolina, we will win.
Kamala Harris is making a serious run for its 16 electoral college votes.
North Carolina, it all comes down to this.
Plus 2 major wild cards. Hurricane Helene decimating the western part of the state. And the Trump-supported candidate for governor.
Now to the scandal that's rocked the governor's race in North Carolina and could have national implications.
Let's see what the fuck's going on. I'm feeling a little nervous. You want to talk about politics on here? Okay. Let's see what's going on. The order in which votes are counted. Oh, yep. Okay. Know that. Ooh, let me slow down a little. Chill out. Whew. Close that. Don't really need that. Trump saying anything funny at least? Funny? Ha 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 ha. Oh. Florida, how much percentage we got now? 52, basically the same. Georgia was 3%, still 3%. Yeah, we're waiting a little bit here.
Communication was good. They were able to find their location. And in Buncombe County alone, you had 116,000 people early voting and then 25,000 more today. These were record numbers in terms of just the overall presence. And the western part of the state, Savannah, and this is really what I want to drive home, outperformed the rest of North Carolina when it comes to early voting. That was at 56.7%. In Buncombe, 58%. But then there were 11 different counties that exceeded 60% before people even came on Election Day. And I say all
Why
of
the
this
fuck
as you see cases
on
of
Mastodon did I get nominated as someone's vice president?
Doling out supplies. And just to give you a snapshot of what's going on the ground right now, people don't have potable water. You're staying at hotels where families are still displaced, and they are just wondering, when are they going to get their loans for their businesses? When will their employees be able to have stability? These are all the things that are weighing on folks' mind as they're still voting. Now, we talked about North Carolina as a wild card, as it projects strength in terms of some of the turnout here in the rural communities. You also have a scenario where women, 52% versus 41% for men. men. There was
Women
a
are
big
certainly
gap
the biggest
so far in
factor in this
women who are
election,
voting, and the conversations
especially
I'm
with
having,
abortion and
many of
Roe
them
v.
tell me that
Wade.
they do think abortion is front and center for them. We'll see how that plays out here in the hours to come.
North Carolina,
All right, Sam Brock in
Pennsylvania. Then we don't
Asheville,
get
North
anything.
Carolina, part of
Okay.
the region that has just been through
Okay.
so much, and yet so many people came out to
I
exercise
don't know how
their
fast
right
we
to
can
vote. I wanna go over to
expect
Tom
North
Yamas,
Carolina
because
votes.
This is the battleground in 2020 that Donald Trump actually won, and he wants to try to hold on to it.
Savannah was the only one that he won in 2020, but it was his closest margin of victory. Let's take a look at North Carolina right now, and I'll take you back to elections past. So as we just mentioned, Trump.
Close. What's going on at the campaigns? There's vibing, there's chilling. Respect, I suppose. To begin counting of mail-in ballots, election workers. Should start to be posted after 9 p.m. It's gonna take a while after a closing to post any results. So what's going on? 64% in Florida. Okay, that's pretty big. Broward County is basically the same. Miami-Dade County is going Donald Trump? Wow, that's bad. Wow. What the fuck? That's the urban center. What the fuck is going on there? The Hispanic voters? What the fuck? Oh, that's bad. I think that nearly single-handedly determines Florida as a wash. There's no way that they're going to be making enough gains. I mean, with 77% of the votes in, I guess if everything else is Democratic, then they can make it up. But if things are going, if they're so much less in the urban area to the point where they're fucking losing where the city of Miami is, that's insane. And they're doing worse in all the rural parts. I want to check, how did this turn out again? When you make this turns Florida. Wow, that's bad. It is competitive. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she's a fucking representative still? Man, what the fuck? Kinda wanted, wish you lose. Lost that one. Yeah, and that's not going to Democrats. The Senate is not going to Democrats. I don't care about your bumper. I mean, yeah, I just don't see how they could win Florida at this point. Dave Wasserman. I'm also kind of curious to just look up Florida and hope I don't get porn. Miami-Dade. Let's see what's happening here. God damn it. Just stop showing your ass, man. That's a 10-point swing in Miami-Dade. Man, what the fuck? Okay, North Carolina poll's about to close, but we're not getting anything until 6 p.m.? Man. Georgia, anything interesting? Little bit of Fayette County. Douglas. Bunch of rural counties. We can take a look at some of these and see how they compare. So, Oconee. Let's go with that. Oconee. Somewhere around here? Oh, I see it for a second? No, I saw, god damn it. Don't worry. It's right there. It's like, it's that one? It's that one. It's there we go. 65% going Trump. 67%. Georgia's looking bad. Georgia's looking bad. South Carolina, I wonder who's going to win South Carolina. I wonder who won in West Virginia. The polls just closed in these places or something?
And the battleground of North Carolina, which we've been talking about.
Ohio polls close.
Our projection at this hour, too early to call, just not ready to release any information about that yet. Georgia is also too early to call. Polls closed about a half hour there now. And we do have a projection. This has to do with the United States Senate. West Virginia, the winner is Jim Justice. As expected, he will go to the Senate. This is a pickup.
Jim Justice is a crazy name.
This was a long time held seat by Senator Joe Manchin, who was a Democrat, then an independent, but still caucused with the Democrats. Well, now the Republicans have picked up one Senate seat.
Ohio is going to be important to making inferences on the rest of the Rust Belt.
Hold a very narrow lead in the Senate, but they're looking to, the Republicans are looking to flip that tonight. They need a net pickup of 2 seats. They just got one.
They just got one, so it is significant. We are looking at, and this was expected, as you say, Governor Jim Justice winning that seat. So they now turn to the state of Montana. They turn to the state of Ohio. Sherrod Brown looking for a 4th term there. He has gotten a pretty fierce challenge from former car dealer Bernie Moreno. So we'll see how that pans out. But one of the things, just zooming out a little bit, a lot of these Senate races
and the Senate race
have gotten a lot closer in recent weeks. Democrats who felt somewhat comfortable as we've gotten closer to Election Day have seen that margin really narrow. And again, this
71% for Florida.
Of split ticket voters in 1988.
Yeah.
17 states had.
I mean, there's no way Kamala makes it back in Florida at this point.
President versus Senate. That was down to one.
Amelia announces that Florida is won by the Republicans.
So we'll have to watch that very closely.
That's my call.
That result out of West Virginia.
Ticket splitting has become more rare in the Trump era. However, it's making a comeback in some of these Senate races where people
it does seem it does it is a little
than they do for the Senate.
That's one of the things we'll be watching closely.
And how are you doing some more exit duty on North Carolina?
That's
right. So now that North Carolina polls have closed, I want to talk you through some of what we're seeing from these exit polls numbers.
Right.
And it is
Listen
interesting here, right? First, we're going to take a look at the non-white vote in North Carolina. These are the black voters, include Latino voters that Tom was talking about in some of those key counties in North Carolina. As expected, Vice President Harris is winning non-white voters based on these early exit poll numbers.
How much non-white population does North Carolina have?
25% slice of the pie. Let me show you the comparison. He is outperforming where he was 4 years ago with non-white voters in North Carolina. He was at 19% in 2020. However, 2 things are also true here. Let me show you white voters here, and we can take a look at the comparison here. You can see that it is former President Trump winning with white voters at 61%, Kamala Harris at 39%. But again, take a look at the comparisons to 2020. She is actually outperforming where President Biden was back in 2020.
Okay, so it balances out. It balances out.
In North Carolina. So you might look at that and you might go, as we take a walk back to the desk here, you might go, okay, well, those 2 things, do they balance out? Not really, because white voters make up a larger share of the electorate in North Carolina than non-white voters. So she might be willing to make that trade, essentially.
All right, Hallie, thanks. I want to go back over to Tom. Tom, you've got some more information in Florida, but before you get into that, just to be clear, there's 2 poll closing times in the state.
It was reduced in 2020.
Steve Kornacki.
The city of Warner Robins is here. There's an Air Force base here. It's about 1/3 black. It's a pretty diverse county. In the early vote, you see Trump leading 56-43. This is the kind of place. Trump slipped in 2020. He does not want to slip any further. In fact, to have a good night in Georgia, he wants to go back a ways. Let me show you. This is what happened in 2020 in Reeves County. This is what happened in 2016. Trump won it by almost 22 points when he won the Georgia and won the presidency.
Razor fucking thin margins.
All the way to 12 in 2020, and he wants to get this number back up. So as we say, we expect the vote you're seeing right now, the early vote, to be the best it is for Democrats because it includes that vote by mail, and we expect the remaining vote to be more Republican friendly. We don't know if that's going to happen. We got to see these completed counties, but if that is the pattern, and if that holds, then that is a positive development for Trump in that county, and that's something he needs to replicate in a lot of other counties. We also got a big batch here. This is Oconee County. This is right outside of Athens, where the University of Georgia is. This is one of the wealthiest counties in Georgia. It's heavily white, high concentration of college degrees, yet actually still a very Republican county. And again, you're looking at all of the early vote here, and again, the kind of place Trump doesn't want to be slipping anymore.
Third-party votes seem to that seems to be where he's making it up, because Kamala's performing similar to Biden, but Trump is still getting more than he did last time.
I think we might have, and again, resetting statewide there. Those are the numbers statewide in Georgia right now. Again, for the Democrats, so much is going to have to do with that Atlanta metro area. Starting to get vote in here in North Carolina. Again, keep in mind, you see a lot of counties, the colors here.
Oh shit,
you only
North Carolina.
See about 26, 27,000 votes statewide in. Also going to come in very incrementally here. You know,
fuck, I'm nervous.
County, this is one of the biggest Democratic vote-producing counties in the state. You got Durham County right next door to it. Something big just came in. We'll take a look here in a minute. Orange County. But I just
I'm check what the discussion is on Reddit and such.
We expect
see what's going on.
Reported out here in the earliest part of the night is the vote by mail. Again, this is going to be very familiar in a lot of places. The vote by mail and the early in-person vote, and that's the majority of all the vote in North Carolina is going to be those two methods. Again, we expect that to be a little bit more Democratic friendly on the whole than the same day vote. We'll see if that's how it plays out. But as we get big batches in these counties, we're looking at that pattern here, where perhaps the Democrats do their best, and then Trump with the election day vote is trying to come back.
Oh boy, our neoliberal, exactly where I fucking want to get my goddamn conversation from. Fuck you guys.
Some big core Democratic producing areas where the name of the game for the
You stay energized. You stay here. We're fine. This is the very start. We're okay.
University of North Carolina in Orange County, Durham here.
Florida was a wash anyway. We are okay. It is okay, everyone. Do not panic.
A lot of concentration of college degrees. Democrats run up massive margins there. We're going to look at Mecklenburg County. That's where Charlotte is.
Okay, we're fine. What's Donald Trump got to say? Why is it zoom into his fucking face?
A lot of attention on the flooding in the mountains of
I want to take a look at the North Carolina vote. Let's see. 72%. Let's see how Biden was doing respectively. If I even read the county name, of course. Wake County, like the Wokes. Okay. 62. 74. Okay, 6% of the vote. So can't really actually base very much at all off that, but you know, we take it. Why would she be doing better in North Carolina? Is there something demographically there? She's not doing better. She's doing worse with white voters now. Rockdale, is that improved at all? I saw someone on Twitter said it did. 69%. Okay. Okay. Alright. We're here for it. Okay. We're following. About a dozen people. Yeah, is there a governor? Is there a governor thing here? I didn't see one.
Great job, actually.
Like, why does it fucking unmute every single tab? I just want to unmute Kornacki. Okay, he's not even talking. Yeah, Florida's gone. Ohio, we got 1%. Doesn't really mean anything. But we'll check it out. Yeah, they're just from 2 random rural counties. And Sherrod Brown, wait, it's from 2 random rural counties, and Brown is still winning tentatively. He's still doing good. That's a lot of split ticket right there. That's 2-3% split ticket. That's impressive. Wait, there's 3% of Trump voters that are voting for the Libertarian candidate instead. That's what's happening. Okay. Interesting. I really wish RFK stayed in the race. Would have been good for Democrats. Florida has not changed their numbers much. Georgia is slowly reporting in. And little blips up here. Okay, I'm pretty sure I already looked at this in a different tab. I'm like fucking myself up here. The first new member. What's this? North Carolina voters prefer Trump on immigration, Harris on healthcare. Neither of which are particular issues in this election, so. Florida's abortion rights ballot measure is very close. These are also some things to look out for that I didn't find a map for. Right now it's winning. That's pretty good. It could potentially come down to the line, but that is doing pretty fucking good. Thank God. Abortion is on the ballot, and I believe I've heard 10 states. Miami-Dade County may be shifting right again. Correct. Does seem to be. Yeah, it is huge. Fucking Harris is losing Hispanics a shit ton. Very concerningly. What's going on here? Oh, there's some guy on the Trump rally camera there you can see talking to his news agency. Anything here? Nothing. Usual shit. Stay in line. Stop the count. Whatever. However you want to say it. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty much good for now. We'll slowing down a little bit here. We'll hear what news has to say.
Hold North Carolina was the only battleground state he won in 2020. So let's give him North Carolina. If he holds North Carolina, he flips Georgia and Pennsylvania. He gets to 270. That's his easiest path. But Lester, if he can't win North Carolina, his whole map changes. And why do I say that? Because he can no longer win just 3 states. He has to win 4. He can do it by winning Pennsylvania and Georgia and keeping the blue wall, or I should say tearing down the blue wall, Michigan and Wisconsin. If he can't go there, he has to go out west and win both Nevada and Arizona. That puts him over the top. But again, without North Carolina, for his scenario, he needs 4 states.
Harris has put a lot of money and time and people on the ground in North Carolina. What does it do for her?
Well, look, if she wins these 16 electoral votes, it eases some pressure off her, right? Because her easiest path is the blue wall. If she can win Pennsylvania and North Carolina, look how close she is. She only needs 9 more electoral votes. Pretty much any other state, with the exception of Nevada, gets her there if she's able to win there. So if she can take North Carolina, the Trump team gets much more nervous, and the Democrats become much more optimistic because she's won out east. If she can win in the Midwest and pick off a state out west or hold it, she's going to be the president.
All right, Tom, let's go back to Savannah.
We talk a lot about the blue wall.
Oh, fuck.
Wisconsin is a big part of it, and our correspondent Shaquille Brewster is in Milwaukee with some breaking news, and it's a possible issue with absentee ballot counting. Hey, Shaq, what do you know?
They reported this as breaking news like 3 times for an hour.
I want to first start with what we're seeing at these polling locations, because locations are open for about another hour. I want to let you go inside. I can't go inside and report, so I'll let our camera go inside there now, where we've seen a steady flow of people. At this location, there was a line that went on for more than an hour this morning. You see things have slowed down a bit. The reports from around the state is that the vote process is going smoothly, but where we are seeing hiccups hangups is with
Let's
the
see what we're doing
counting.
here.
We just learned from the clerk
73% in Florida.
They are counting all of the absentee ballots and
Anything in Ohio? We got 4% in Ohio, 2% for Senate. Why is that counted separately?
those absentee ballots. They say an observer saw that
With the Republican in the lead.
ballot tabulators were sealed.
Okay, North Carolina's also very low. Georgia's slowly getting more. Donald Trump in the lead. There's a lot of rural places. It's all these fucking these counties around here. All the ones around Atlanta. That's gonna be a fuck ton of votes, just like in 2020. So can't put too much stock in this. Yeah. Florida looks like a decisive win for Trump. Agreed. Mixed early. What does the president have to say? Trump leads with 60% to Harris's 40%, with 9%. Notably, 2 Atlanta area metro counties that have reported at least 70% of their expected vote, both notably bluer than they were in 2020, while many other rural countries in the state have reported that they are much notably redder. Still, around 3/4 of Georgia's votes so far is estimated to be early in-person or absentee, which should be at least somewhat more favorable to Democrats than election day voters. So, this is pretty much a continuation of the polarization of the rural and urban divide so far, which I suppose is to be expected.
Do well with seniors. But here's what's interesting. Look at Vice President Harris. She's got 47% of the senior vote. She's doing better than President Biden did with seniors in 2020 in North Carolina. So she is outperforming
100%.
where he
She's
was
been doing
4 years
a lot
ago.
better
Then you look
in
at
the
that
polling.
youth vote, right? Again, not unexpected that Vice President Harris would have a slight lead. And I would say this is very close. We are waiting for more numbers to come in, more of these waves as they're called from the exit polls, but still interesting. But again, look at 48% for former President Trump. He is outperforming among young voters in North Carolina. So you have that kind of conventional wisdom. They're overall sort of winning the groups, at least to a degree that we thought they'd win. But each of them are overperforming on the sort of flip end of that.
All right, well, Savannah Sellers is here to talk about a huge role that the youth vote could play in the outcome of this election. What have you been seeing
going on? You talking about anything? Nope.
Yeah, I absolutely haven't. First, I want to dig in a little further on North Carolina and what Hallie just said, because if we dig even deeper in and we talk about gender in that under 30, it's
Let's take
similar to the trends that
about
we've
look
been
at
discussing.
maps,
Trump
see if
has
anything's
improved what he
different.
did with young men tonight. 60% in our NBC News exit poll there say they support him. That is up from 42% that voted for him in 2020.
This has no urban areas in yet, so that's pretty much useless. Florida should be called. I already called Florida, to be clear, you know? But yeah, Florida is a Trump win. I don't think there's no way that
North Carolina
changes.
is really interesting to me
I don't know
because
when
I've
they'll
been
officially
talking
get
with
called, though.
college Democrat and Republican presidents on campuses there, but the college Democrats were so.
To be fair, Florida wasn't even really registered as a swing state for this year. It was more so like, if it's a blowout, Kamala may be able to get Florida. So we know it's at least not to that insane extent. Alright, let me click Georgia. Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Okay. Yeah, what are people talking about? Decision Desk HQ. What? Are they doing a live, like, estimator? Wait. Do I have this up? Forecasting? I'm confused. I don't know what you mean. What are you saying? Was there throwing the fit where Trump didn't get... oh, just like a hypothetical? Where is this, like, predicting thing that I just saw? I'm on the site. Yeah, this is, yeah, I'm not insane. Election coverage. Result. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here we go. Here it is. Interesting. This is sort of like the needle for New York Times. which doesn't seem to be up right now. I mean, where Trump did get Florida, but still lost by 2 votes he would have gotten before. Oh, really? That's funny. I didn't realize I didn't pay much attention to how the electoral vote share changed with the census. Is the needle coming up? If we get a needle, we'll have a weird car. Very confusing. Where's the needle? Alright, but well, this thing, I don't know how exactly they have this to work, but there's a 63% chance of President Trump. Georgia, likely Trump win. I mean, Florida should be higher Trump percentage than that. Oh, is that still not? This still isn't for state. This is just for national. I don't think we really have enough information to be 63%. I feel like that's overestimating based on these particular results. Polls are about to close. Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Washington, D.C. Okay. And out of those, the only one that really matters is Pennsylvania. In terms of president. There are, of course, always local races fucking everywhere that matter. These counties come in. Interesting. Nothing by Dave Wasserman yet. He hasn't said shit. Why not? Usually he's like tweeting all day. Fuck. 5 new updates. Georgians on what? Oh my god, there's a dog! We could use a dog. We could use seeing a dog right now. A little late in the mood a little bit. Maybe put on like some, what's the word? That's true, that's so true. I need to turn on like some 10 hours of lolly soft breathing.
They get a chance to see a puppy. People have thanked us for being out here. They've said it's made their morning, so everyone's just really excited that we're out here with these puppies, and they're excited to be out here and vote.
Dogs are gonna vote?
Because
Democrats are really going crazy this year.
and she kind of eased the
We're watching this. It's not that we're looking at the look at the little doggy.
was talking
It's
to
a
her and commenting
pug.
how cute she is, and so happy I brought my dog.
Do they contest what at the Supreme Court? And wait, who is they and what is it?
Know what you're gonna expect, so I was a little anxious. I didn't want to get
I miss my
approached by
pugs.
anybody who, is not on the same side as.
What's that old like that dude over there just looking? What is he doing?
Respectful, and no matter where you live or what side you're on, you should never interfere with people coming out to vote or trying to instigate or provoke any kind of conflict.
Little doggy. Little doggy. Fuck. I think Joe Biden's going to go to the Supreme Court and say that he should be president if Kamala wins. Oh shit! Alright, Clayton County, 62% of vote in. Heavy Democrat. Let's compare this. just pretty much the same margin as 2020. Nothing to really speak of there. Ideally, Kamala would want to making gains there to get her margin up statewide. Any urban areas, Toledo, 39% of votes in. %57%, 63%. That's good news for the Rust Belt. I doubt she's in a position to win Ohio this election at this point, but that is a good indicator for the rest.
For grabs in the biggest haul of the night. Florida, with its 30 electoral votes, could be one of the first big calls of the evening.
Yeah, they could call it right after their last polls close at 8 p.m.
Important prize this election, Pennsylvania.
We love Pennsylvania.
It is good to be back.
We love Pennsylvania.
The race could all come down to the Keystone State.
Pennsylvania is extremely crucial.
If Vice President Harris loses this state,
Pennsylvania, it all comes down to this.
the path to 270 narrows significantly.
We're going to win Pennsylvania.
So, Pennsylvania, are you ready to make
Guys, if Kamala comes to... Wait, no, that's not what I meant to say. Fuck, I ruined my joke.
Our decision desk gets ready to make calls.
I meant to say...
Right, getting ready for
if Kamala wins today, is it okay if I come?
This is where the Harris campaign really needs to ramp up those turnout numbers. What do you
Have there been ads playing behind me at points, by the way? I have not been looking at my OBS.
Down here in Northeast Philadelphia.
What is the deal with it? Whatever, it's too late to fix it.
Community, people still getting in under the wire in these last few minutes, but the big question, Savannah, afterwards is how long is it going to take to call the state of Pennsylvania? 4 years ago, it took until Saturday. I was on the phone with the former Secretary of the Commonwealth talking about the challenges they faced back then.
Little entertainment, Joe Biden dating simulator.
Slowed the process down.
Wow, what's their furries?
Process for people in this state.
I was playing the political process earlier to hype myself up, get myself in the mood, right for the right vibe.
Ballots, just under 2 million. They have new machines to process.
I was thinking about playing. I had
outlook from election officials.
I had 2 games prepared potentially to play before the election if I was in the mood. One was the official Kamala Harris Fortnite map, and the other was Donald Trump Business Tycoon, which is a real game they made like in the early 2000s for the computer. And it's a little business tycoon. There's mostly just pictures of Trump. Game. You can see it like here. Game, Windows 2002. Yeah, you gotta pick your company logo. Oh, fuck. Got your high scores. Trump's the narrator. You do business. You do business like a businessman does. Like a businessman.
County, Clayton County, again, these are the suburbs of Atlanta.
Man, dude, I wish they fucking had like this available on their website. I would come.
Look at this: 69% for Biden, 75% tonight for Harris. They're looking at these numbers tonight, and again, there's still a lot of vote out, but they're looking at these numbers tonight, and they're
it feels like in Georgia things might balance out in the end based on the both getting more extreme, the rural votes and the city votes. But all that's going to really come down to is if one gets a little bit more extreme than the other gets extreme, they're the winner because of how razor thin the Georgia margins are. I'm surprised Florida hasn't been called yet. I feel like we're getting a call at 8 p.m. Georgia has 25% in right now. Ohio, what was the general Ohio? It was 53% for Trump. Is that for a county or is that for all of Ohio? 53% for Trump. We're looking at Kamala is currently winning Ohio. Oh, Columbus votes just came in. Okay, makes sense. I guess we can check out the Columbus margin. It's 40% in. She's winning in Columbus more as well. Cincinnati, 37%. She's gained 64. That is like a 5-point swing in all of these urban areas. Akron, from 54% to 62%. Nah, man, the Iowa poll was fucking real. I swear to fucking God. She can lose Georgia. She can lose Florida. She can, if she sweeps, if she gets, we get Michigan. We get fucking, oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's see what's happening. See what's getting called. She is doing well in Ohio.
The poll closings are about to occur in
she could get Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, president.
With those 8 o'clock poll closings, here's an NBC News projection. State of
Florida?
NBC News projects that Donald Trump will win Florida and take its 30 electoral votes. The state of Massachusetts,
let's fucking go!
Harris, the projected winner tonight. With
Massachusetts.
Donald Trump, the projected winner in Tennessee tonight. 11 electoral votes there. In the state of Maryland, NBC News projects that we're going to Kamala Harris column. We move on to the state of Missouri. NBC News projects that Donald Trump is the victor in Missouri when all the votes are counted. Here's what Alabama looks like. That will also go to Donald Trump. State of Oklahoma, this will be projected to go to Donald Trump. And in D.C., District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes at stake. NBC News projects that Kamala Harris will win there. So where does it leave us now on the road to 270? There it is, 90 for Trump right now, 27 for Harris, 270, of course, the magic number and the keys to the White House.
But we await calls in those all-important battlegrounds, and there are still outstanding states. Just as polls closed at 8 o'clock, we will wait for New Jersey, Illinois, Connecticut, and, of course, Pennsylvania as well. Let's show you what we can right now in Pennsylvania. No surprise here. It is too early to call. North Carolina, same story. They do count fast there, but not fast enough to call it. It's still too early to call. Just 5% of the vote.
Georgia expect North Carolina is there's like nothing coming in. What the fuck? 3% of the vote in Pennsylvania right now. Where?
The numbers here, and I see you've got Virginia up there, which is a potential bellwether, something that might give us some indication about how
Pittsburgh,
this might go.
Yeah,
25%
it's
in.
a state that we can look at to see how the suburbs are going to perform across the country. I know a lot of you guys know the DC
59% Biden.
30% of the vote is
72% Pittsburgh. 72% for Harris. That's fucking good.
2020 to compare here. So Prince William County, it looks like
here we go. We got the needle. We got the needle.
This one stood out to me. 95% of the
That's what we're talking about.
County right now. Biden was at 61%.
That's what we're fucking talking about.
Now at 56%. Again, there's a difference of about 35,000 votes. 95% is in, and we can actually see how much of the vote is left. Only about 3,600 votes remain in Loudoun County. So she's underperforming a little bit there. As we keep going here, Fairfax County, 45% in. She's at 68%. Let's see how Biden was doing there. 69, about the same. Something else that's interesting that's happening in Virginia, Virginia Beach. This is a swing county.
We want to check Senate for Ohio.
But tonight, Trump is on top, but only about 20%.
Sherrod Brown is winning Ohio right now, but we also got a bunch of urban areas coming in there.
Some of that coal mining country, it's going to resemble West Virginia. We have some of the vote in a county like over here, Wise County. This is a good Trump barometer. He's at 78%. He was at 80% in 2020, but 41% of the vote is out. He's underperforming slightly. I guess the thing that sticks out to me, which it's too early to know if it's a red flag, but Loudoun County, again, you know, this is a place where Democrats want to run up those votes in Virginia. Not that Virginia is in danger for Democrats because they were able to run up the score in 2020, but Trump in 2016 got close. He got within 5 points. A number like this, it's going to worry them a little bit, but I know you guys
some leftover pizza.
That area than I do.
Well, actually, we're honored to have a resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia with us, Chuck Todd. So, I mean, you look
Commonwealth. I love that word. It sounds so cool.
Washington, D.C. very well. Is that a warning light if Kamala Harris is not performing as well as Biden did in some of those suburban, exurban counties?
It could be if we're going to see that if it's moving. You know, Virginia is sort of the gateway now to the north rather than being, I always joke, it's sort of seceded from the Confederacy, right? It is the one southern state that has been consistently a Democratic state, not even a swing state anymore. So if that is consistent, yes. One thing I've learned, though, with the Northern Virginia vote, you may have 95% of the vote in, that 5% can account for a lot more uncounted vote than people
We'll
realize.
check Ohio, some more Ohio.
We're starting to see a bit of a picture maybe emerging. There's a couple layers to
We're in
this.
some
Again,
Kornacki.
a third of the
We'll
vote,
listen to
we
him.
see
I'm
Donald
eating.
Trump up by about 200,000 here. I say there's a few layers. The first I can tell you is this. One thing we were looking for here and are looking for in Georgia, I was describing it earlier, there's just a lot of very small rural counties that are going to be deep, deep red. And the question, one of the questions coming into tonight was, would there be any slippage for Donald Trump in those counties, those core Republican Trump counties? Remember, he's trying to make up a deficit. He lost by about 12,000 votes last time. So we've got about 10 now completed of those rural, heavily Trump counties. We're talking about places where he's going to get 70, 75, 80% of the vote. In all 10 that have now been completed, Trump's vote share relative to 2020 has gone up between 1 and 3 points. So again, there's a lot more rural counties out there, but they start to add up. And when it's 10 for 10 so far, I'd say that's something the Trump campaign in that layer is looking for. Now, there are other layers to this. Let me take you to another one. We talk about, for the Democrats, this core blue area in and immediately around Atlanta, and we're starting to get a lot more out of here. So let's say Fulton County, this is the biggest of the big. This is where Atlanta is, or most of Atlanta. It bleeds over into another county. But again, we've got the early vote, we think, here out of Fulton, or a lot of it. And here's Harris, and put this in some perspective. This is how Biden did in Fulton County in 2020. And again, like all of these Atlanta metro counties, the story here has been Democrats getting bigger and bigger margins election after election. They want that trend to continue tonight. They don't want it to stop. They don't ever want to recede from that number. And so with some same-day vote here still to come in Fulton, we want to see how this develops, but they want to have the number Democrats do high. 71's a very high number, and the margin's very big. They want to have it higher than 71. There's still votes to come, but we're keeping an eye on that. We've also got here, this is just as core a Democratic county as you're going to get, a large historical
Kamala's doing
county,
decent in
Clinton
Ohio.
County. We've got more than
Getting some votes in Northampton County. Not much.
Democratic level here. That's what they want to be seeing in a county like Clayton
Oh, it's in
County.
Texas.
Take a look again. Gwinnett is still pretty empty.
Take a look.
One to update you though on. We asked as a key question in this metro area: is this blue zone expanding at all? And this is the county we wanted to watch. Fayette
Less than
County,
last
and
time
we've
so
got
far.
A lot of Fayette County in right here. And again, take a look. This is what it was in 2020. This would be progress for Democrats. There's still more vote to come though. But Democrats want to be flipping this, I think, to have a really good night in Georgia. Same day vote. That's the more Republican friendly. Still to come here. So is this as good as the picture is going to get for Democrats in Fayette County? Now, I say there's layers to this. That's the core Democratic area.
Layers,
We'll see how much
wow.
they can squeeze out of there. Another question here has been, and a big one that looms, is when you get just outside this core Atlanta area, there are some very big counties in sort of the fringes of the Atlanta metro. And unlike this area, they're all red. They all got somewhat significantly less red in 2020. It's a huge reason Donald Trump lost the state. In fact, I can call those counties up here, and we'll just show you what they look like. It's sort of these counties here. There's some socioeconomic differences, but we're keeping a close eye on these to see if there's, because these are big, highly populated counties.
I want to check out the feeds, see what's going on. Just telling people to vote. Is the needle working yet? No. This guy hasn't said shit today. Feel a little stupid for saying to watch him to everyone. Killed in flash flood. Damn. Yep, bunch of calls. Alright. Vote count 14%. Trump leaves still me. Okay. What was the thing I wanted to just look at that I forgot that I wanted to look at? Fuck. What was I gonna look at? Shit. I don't remember. We'll listen to a little bit more Kornacki while I eat pizza.
A little bit less of the vote in, but Trump so far a little bit behind that number. That would be good news for Democrats if in a place like Forsyth, Trump is falling short of that number. And another key here just in Georgia that we're going to be watching, it's just slowly taking shape. Again, I will call these counties up sort of in a group on the screen so you can see them. In sort of south and in mid-state Georgia, there's a number of counties with large, they're rural counties with large African-American populations. And this is the place where Democrats think they can improve the turnout and either get better margins or cut into Republican margins in some of these counties. So again, a lot of incomplete here right now, but a couple with a significant vote that I can show you. One would be Baldwin County here, and almost all is in Baldwin County. Again, very small, but again, this is a place Joe Biden won it. Okay, it's about 45% black population in Baldwin County.
What do we got? We got anything new? More in Texas?
With almost all the vote in now. Trump 3.
I was going to check out House and Senate. Colin Allred is currently winning the Texas Senate. And Sherrod Brown is winning his, but still not many votes in either. So too early to really be saying anything much about that. Bit more happening. A bit of votes happening in Philadelphia. That's quite the lead. That's a massive fucking increase over last time. Massive. That's fucking 3 points. Did I say 3? 30.
We haven't seen anything from that yet. And I also think we've got some numbers here, yes, in Pennsylvania. And I just want to tell you what to expect here in Pennsylvania, because you see a massive Harris lead in more than 300,000 votes.
Man, I don't want to eat the crust on this. The bread doesn't taste as good after a day.
Early in-person voting that, millions of people are doing in other states. They don't really have that in Pennsylvania. It's pretty much just vote by mail or vote same day. And what's happening in most of Pennsylvania tonight is the vote by mail is going to all be reported out first, and then the same day.
It's hard to cut a Sicilian slice of pizza with scissors.
Unlike in some other states where the vote by mail we think will be very heavily Democratic, and the same day will be more heavily Republican. And so that's what we're seeing. Look, the city of Philadelphia has released, and there's more to come. This is a giant batch, all of vote by mail from Philadelphia here. So that's why this will be, it'll get a little bit better for Trump as more votes come in. But that's what you've got right there. You've got all
there we go.
Perhaps in Allegheny County, or a very, very good chunk of it. Again, this is where Pittsburgh is. 1.2 million people. The inner suburbs around Pittsburgh, too, heavily Democratic. So again, big Democratic number there. And also in Lancaster
some red counties just popped up.
Only about 700 votes there. So really the two big cities in the state have come in. We're getting a little bit more now, Butler County and a few others. But again, you can expect it's the vote by mail first in Pennsylvania. So you can expect Harris to have a pretty substantial lead in these early, in the early hour and a half, whatever.
Understandable.
The story in Pennsylvania, it's going to be the opposite of the story we found 4 years ago. 4 years ago, the story was they counted the same day first. Trump had a big lead, and night after night, Biden was chipping away at it with the mail vote. Tonight, we expect just about all of the mail vote to come in, followed by the same day, and the question will be on the same day, can Trump catch Harris? So again, yep.
We can't even hear them.
Yep, I was just checking in on a couple others there. But so Pennsylvania again, and I'm just seeing if anything else came in. Michigan, by the way, let's take a look here at Michigan, and we've got, look at this, two biggies. So this is, we set this up earlier. Oakland County, remember, this is gigantic suburbia, high income, high concentration of college degrees right outside Detroit. Now, what you're getting here again in Michigan, they overhauled elections completely this time around. turnaround. So for the first time in Michigan, they have early in-person voting.
Big
a lot
increase.
of people taking advantage of that. There's also vote by mail, and I think what you're looking at, it's going to vary in Michigan tonight. Unlike some of these other states, there's not a lot of uniform rules here in terms of what sequence the vote's going to be reported out. But in Oakland, I suspect just based on this margin, you're looking at a lot of vote by mail, early vote here. But remember, we said at the start of the night, the test we're going to be applying all night, one of them is to compare Oakland County to its neighbor to the east, Macomb County.
All right.
Big blue-collar suburbia in Macomb.
I'm going to take like a 5-10 minute break. Chill
Oakland,
just a little bit.
And the Democrats
we'll get back to it.
Here in Oakland County.
Time is it? Yeah, this is a good time.
750,000 votes were
good as any, at least.
2020. Biden won this thing by 14 points. That's what Democrats want to be seeing again. This was a big populations.
All right.
Obama was the last Democrat to carry North Carolina.
Fuck.
Carried some of those counties.
Here, let me close this shit. All right. We got the needle up from New York Times, which is a valuable tool. It gives us an estimate. Currently, this is the range of possibilities. So it doesn't say too much right now. And change of control, it's a toss-up. Thank you, New York Times. But that'll be a valuable tool as we go on. It also shows individually on the states. We got Ohio, likely R, Michigan toss-up, Georgia still a toss-up, North Carolina toss-up, Pennsylvania toss-up, New Jersey likely D. I'm surprised that wasn't like auto-declared. Texas likely R, very likely, blah, blah, blah. And that uses the results we do get in to estimate what's going on. Fuck. Let's check out what's going on the news. We can also check the Senate. Ohio is the most notable race there. It's gotten pretty close now. Is there any like needle thing for this? No. In U.S. House, I can't analyze this as well because I don't know. There's too many races to keep track of to know off the top of my head as to, oh, well, hey, here, this is useful. Okay. So, Democrats win that. That's less than 1% of the votes, so that's fine. Expected to win narrowly. DR plus 10. Win narrowly. Plus 12. Interesting. These are all plus Ds so far in the competitive column, which is good to hear. Some precincts in Boston ran out of ballots. It's going to be higher turnout. I can't imagine who was inspired by fucking Harris. Who the fuck wants to go out to vote for Harris? God damn. I didn't want to vote for Harris. I was like wincing while falling in her bubble. Fucking sucks. We have a needle. In the national vote down to Alright, let's see. Trump say anything? Nope. Yeah, that's feeds. Okay. Kornacki saying anything? Nope. Let's see what they're doing here.
Their polls and the votes are being counted as we speak. That's the road to 270, filling out a bit with some predictable wins and losses in this country. But let's go to the battlegrounds. Virginia is too early to call. Just 30%.
Is Virginia a battleground?
We'll continue to watch it. Ohio, the polls have closed there. It is too early to call, although that once battleground is now more a reliably red state. We'll see how that shakes out. Pennsylvania, stop me if you've heard Pennsylvania very much during this campaign season. It may all hinge on the Commonwealth. Too early to call there. And in Georgia, we have characterized this as too close to call. So we are about halfway through the vote counting there, 50%.
Halfway through in Georgia? Damn.
You see that margin, depending on where the votes are coming from, it is our expectation that right now this vote in Georgia's 16 electoral
Decision
votes,
desk update on Georgia. Trump has a lead in Georgia with more than a third of estimated votes now are big and democratically leading. Yep, that's just like what happened in 2020.
Savannah Lester, you both said it, the battle of the sexes
men versus women. It gets a little bit more complicated than that, but let's start with the gender gap nationally here. And you can see it absolutely still exists. So these are our exit polls nationally based on gender. You can see, obviously, this is just the vote here. Women, 53%, 47% men. Typically what we might see when you get into vote break, I'm going to ask our team to pull that up. You are seeing that more women are backing Vice President Harris. More men are backing former President Trump. More women, 55% for Harris. Trump, 43%. We'll go to men, and you'll see it flips, right? That red slice of the pie gets a little bit bigger for Donald Trump when it comes to men nationally. Pull that up so you can see it. The other piece of this, though,
are you going to pull it up?
Right? And when you get a little bit deeper in race and education, that is where this gets really key. And for that, you look at white college-educated women. We've been talking about this demographic a lot here in some of these key swing states.
I need to do a fun stream. Like after this, after election is over, I do a fun stream again. Not politics. No politics. I'm fucking done after today.
Historic gender gap potentially, and we have a historic education gap potentially. And I want to bring in our panel. We've got Sarah Fagan, who is here. She was a veteran of the Bush White House, George W. Bush, the political director there, and Senator Claire McCaskill of the great state of Missouri that was once a swing state as well. You were a Democratic senator. Way back when.
Oh, who the hell was that? I don't know them.
I think the education gap is key here too. When you hear what Hallie says, Senator, what's your take?
I think we have so many divides at this point. We have
on Decision Desk HQ, Trump odds are going down. We're getting a Georgia lean Trump for.
And yes, there is a difference between college-educated.
No, I said that right. Georgia lean Trump. This is going down to the wire the same time in Georgia, like 2020. Waiting on the plethora of votes in the Atlanta metro area, which could entirely change everything. Senate, anything worthwhile? So true. Yeah, well, it's fucking. What's a betting site? What's a betting site? Give me a betting site. I don't know any. Election. I can check a British one if they have it. If they have Trump versus Kamala. They probably got like locked in before the election started, right? I don't know exactly how that works. Is this gonna load? Polymarket. We can buy now? Isn't it a bit? Shouldn't we not be able to buy it while it's ongoing? That seems like kind of fucked. Kamala easy win, hold, stop the count. Buy Kamala because it's cheap right now. Not wrong. Should I buy some Kamala? Should I bet on Kamala? This could be how I become a millionaire. Bet all my money on Kamala. Was it the difference between buying no on Trump and buying yes on Kamala? I'm gonna buy yes on Joe Biden. He's coming in. Bernie Sanders. He's gonna win it. He's gonna do it. Where's Andrew Yang? I want to put on Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang. Hillary Clinton's still in it. He's gonna come. She's gonna come in. She's gonna be the first woman president after all. She's got it. Oh, that's rough.
You mentioned
Florida needs to get 60% in order to pass it.
Battlegrounds, Nevada and Arizona. Some of the battlegrounds, Michigan, for example, had abortion on the ballot 2 years ago.
Trump chances went up over there.
Prospects in Michigan. Now, is there a question in your mind, Senator McCaskill, whether or not that Democrats who might have been motivated to go to the polls on the abortion issue.
All of it is currently tied, pretty much tied.
For Trump, even because I think I've already taken care of this abortion question with regard to the ballot measure in a battleground like Michigan.
I don't know. I think ProPublica has done such an amazing job of publicizing the deaths to women because of Trump really extreme abortion bans.
Nothing
that are
there.
in many, many states.
I'll keep Kornacki's audio on just so we can hear when he starts.
But there's a Senate race out there that I've got half an eye on tonight. And I think
We're getting some polls closing at 30? What polls are we getting closing?
who want to have the children who are suffering a miscarriage and can't get the health care they need. That takes it to a different level. And I don't think we had very many of those stories out there in 2022 like we have in 2024.
Why is Dave Wasserman not saying a single fucking thing?
Those stories and the
He needs to say his iconic phrase.
I also think that this is an issue that Republicans have struggled to find their footing on. Sarah and I have talked about it.
Let me pick up that thought a moment. We have an election alert now. This is a poll closing here.
Oh boy, Arkansas. I wonder who's going to win.
East Arkansas will be closing here momentarily. We'll perhaps get a characterization. That's the only one.
Characterization of who's going to win Arkansas?
Projection, NBC News can project
No.
Donald Trump will win in the state of Arkansas when all the votes are counted. 6 electoral votes. Here's where we
It's
are
still
on the map.
fucking over for Kamala.
At least Donald Trump at 99 electoral votes.
It's still over.
27 for
You
Harris and the
didn't do
goal,
it, Joe.
270.
All right, let's go to the battleground.
It's fine.
Georgia's race for
We're
president
fine.
too close to call at this hour. 53% of the vote in, just too close to make a prediction there. Pennsylvania too early to call. They're just getting started in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And North Carolina also too early to call. We do have more vote there, but we're just not in a position yet to call those races. However, Tom, as I go to you, these are some of the races. Georgia and North Carolina, these are fast counters.
Fucking hell. No, it wasn't. It wasn't in the slightest.
By the middle of the night.
I'm just fucking around.
Hours this morning, and that would be quite telling.
Yeah, our decision desk guidance is that Georgia and North Carolina both improving the way they tabulate votes. We should have a projected winner some point tonight. Those will be the 2 first battlegrounds.
Can we get needle? Georgia lean R, Texas likely R. Virginia. Yeah, I see some people freaking out about Virginia, but I don't really see why. Because they only have 40% of the vote in right now. Ohio, Trump's taking the lead there again. Michigan doesn't really have much reporting. North Carolina is counting so fucking slow, and so is Pennsylvania. Fuck me. North Dakota, I wonder who. Oakland County, that's about the same. Oh, that's a different margin. New Hampshire.
Out here, rural counties. This is Wise County. This is Trump country near West Virginia. You can see 94% in. He was at 80.4 in 2020. He's at 81.6. Again, how does he win states like Virginia? They're going to run up the votes in the suburban areas, the Democrats. He runs up the votes in the rural areas. So that's going to be good there for the Republicans if they want to hold those marks. Virginia Beach. This is another area we're going to be watching. Again, an area that sometimes tends to swing. Trump with 48% in 2016. Biden was able to flip it. 30% in. Again, still early, but Trump is ahead there. So we're watching Virginia, guys, and we'll see what happens. We're still waiting for some of the vote to come in here, but some signs that, maybe trouble Democrats, maybe they trouble Republicans as well. We're going to have to wait. Back to you guys.
All right, we shall wait. We do have a key projection right now. The state of Delaware, the home state of the sitting president, Joe Biden, will go for Kamala Harris as expected. Here's how the vote shook out. Just 48% in, but this is an easy projection with the margins as they are expected to be. So here's where we fill out our map at 8:30 on the East Coast.
Why has New Jersey not been called? They haven't even called Connecticut on this map.
Donald Trump leading as some of these big states in the South, which are expected to go his way, are starting to report in. Speaking of the South, we've got NBC News correspondent Allison Barber. She's in the key county of Gwinnett County, Georgia.
What's going on here?
First vote starting to come in there. And what are you hearing? We've got both campaigns really laser focused on this area.
Yeah, they care a lot about this county, Savannah. Let me just show you, because we've just started to see precinct captains coming in with their memory cards with the votes that happened in person.
Oh fuck! Need to take my Tylenol. I've been taking Tylenol like every fucking day for a while now. My head's fucked up.
What they're doing is they're
If I die from a brain aneurysm,
little bags that are secured with
the doctors ignored me. I'm fine.
seal on the top of the envelope and memory cards, and at least 2 from each precinct that have the total of votes for today. So they come in here, they check in with these folks, and then they ultimately take
yeah, these fucking idiots on Reddit are going insane right now about how Kamala's gonna lose.
They look at those envelopes, make sure they're sealed properly.
It's just too fucking
it has
early.
everything necessary by Georgia law inside of it, and then they send them back into this room here, where we start to see those votes.
Hey, work the polls? Hell yeah, my man. That's what I'm talking about.
A little through everyone here. There's more counting going on in the back. You mentioned this county is
Can imagine, but still an important job.
This is a rapidly growing county in the
Good for
state
you.
of Georgia. It's also incredibly diverse. It leans
What'd you see on the ground, huh?
2020, Donald Trump
Anything you can tell us?
of the vote in Gwinnett County. And ultimately what Republicans in the Trump campaign were looking for tonight is to see if they could increase turnout just enough.
Give me a Blues Drive Amelia exclusive.
Percentage points. And
Hey,
hold on to
nice.
Republican strongholds in the state, and then are maybe well positioned to carry this state. Democrats, the Harris campaign, they were also hoping to up their turnout here so they could create that blue wall.
What'd you
Tom has
do?
been
Did you
talking
just
so much
like
about in Metro Atlanta, and a lot of it has been happening in here tonight. Keep
count
coming a little this
votes,
way.
or
One of the most significant aspects of tonight that we've watched in here are the early
only had one
votes,
dude come
early
through to check
in-person
it.
voting numbers in this county. Over 50% of active
Wait,
voters
he was gonna try to vote again?
in Gwinnett County alone voted early. That's either by mail-in
Oh, okay,
ballots
okay.
or early in person. Back over here, you see all these things. I've been describing them today almost as like trash cans, but what's inside of them? All of the in-person.
Well, I don't know if I imagine you guys have probably had like, I don't know, fucking, do you guys have TVs in the polling locations or anything? You probably check your phone still to see what's going on with the results. But too early to say for the most part on like most counts. Trump handedly won Florida. Things are looking pretty like, yeah, kind of divided. Have not really honestly gotten that much valuable information the past however long so far. Still waiting on the Metro. Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. You know, I looked up my voting record, and I didn't see that I voted. It didn't say that I voted in 2020 or 2022, but I did. I was a little concerned about. But I'm just gonna assume it's, I don't know, some system error. What county are you in, if you are willing to disclose? Take a look-see. Was he talking about anything here?
Of margin. Harris is going to win this very big, but let me just show you what happened in 2020. This is what it looked like, and this was a margin for Democrats. You could see Biden 603,000, Trump 132,000. Yeah, that is a margin of about 470,000 votes for Democrats out of Philadelphia. I think one of the numbers to keep an eye on as Philadelphia and Pennsylvania comes in is,
yeah, these things are coming in fucking slow. Oh my god.
Set that as a bit of a benchmark here. If Democrats can get that up to 500,000,
Gotcha.
I think they're going to be feeling very good about what they can do in Pennsylvania. Can they drive that number up? Because, you know, while this is a big number for Democrats, this 81-18 victory for Biden over Trump, there was a little bit of slippage there. This is just the city of Philadelphia. A little bit of slippage there for Democrats. Give it relative to what they used to get out of Philadelphia. It's because in 2020, in part, Trump made gains with Hispanic voters in Hispanic precincts and neighborhoods of Philadelphia.
Well, hopefully Harris is keeping her leads on these cities. She needs that in order to be able to win Philadelphia at the moment.
Down another point or two in either direction here. So we're going to be looking out of that in Philadelphia.
I just heard about that. Is that the governor race? Which one was that? Where is that? Yeah, I couldn't find a governor map. Maybe if I just go to the state? Here we go. %20 of votes are in. We'll see. I don't know what the polls were like for this race. What was it? What is the vibe on this? Constitution Party? And how does this compare to... it's a lot of split ticket voting, though. That's impressive still for Josh Stein. Donald Trump, he's basically winning. He has the same amount of votes as Donald Trump, who is currently winning Virginia, North Carolina, blah. So I feel like that's in his favor. Hopefully it stays that way.
I think most women don't feel good about that. But, you know, I come from a state that is very Trump heavy. So I certainly know that there are women out there
It is
that
insane
have bought
that
what he's selling.
I mean,
I like to say I think there's
Trump's also said like probably equally fucked up things and done equally fucked up things. Really, this shouldn't be close in the slightest. This presidential election as a whole, and the Republican Party should have been wiped off the map a while ago. But what the fuck can we do, you know?
And like it just fine.
Sarah, I want to get your thought on something at work right now, and there was a bit of a mixed message in the campaign.
I voted. I can say that at least.
About early voting.
I got like 2 friends. I think they're registered to vote. I think I got 2 people in Ohio to do so.
Well, if you look at some of the early vote returns,
that's something.
Certainly we saw higher numbers of Republicans voting early. You know, looks to me like a lot of those were election day voters previously who voted early. Okay, great for the Trump campaign. They banked votes.
Good for their senator, hopefully.
Who haven't voted. So to me,
how is their Senate race going right now?
Is his share of the early vote higher than it was in 2020?
Fine, I think.
Democrats dominated the early vote totals in 2020.
So what's going on here? It's a toss-up. Needle, yep. The first Republican presidential candidate to win Miami-Dade since 1988.
And also, if you just look at the trends in early voting and the trends in absentee by states.
Oh.
Can Trump get this back to 2016
Let's
level?
see.
Really, can he win
Lackawanna. That's an interesting name.
And there's also a lot of these counties in this sort of stretch of the
President
state
popular
right here.
vote.
You've got a lot of counties with substantial Hispanic populations. And that's the other thing that the Trump campaign has been talking about. Berks is where the city of Reading is. You know, Reading is about 2/3 Hispanic, largest concentration of Hispanic voters anywhere in the state. Trump actually, he lost the city of Reading. He made gains there in 2020. He made gains in a lot of these small, mid-sized cities in Pennsylvania, sort of this part of the state right here, that have substantial Hispanic populations. His
Look at all the polls that close at 9 p.m.
On that being a trend that continues this election, and there being improvement for Trump in those small, mid-sized cities and the counties around them. So we're going to be paying attention to that as it comes in. So again, Democrats just need to get massive margins out of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and the suburbs right around them. And Trump needs to get back to his 2016 levels in the blue-collar parts of the state. Again, it's pretty much just vote by mail that you're seeing there in Pennsylvania. But as this takes shape, that's what we're going to be looking for. And just take a quick look back here at Georgia. We've been monitoring everything. I will tell you this. One thing I've been looking at.
How much is in the metro area right now?
In terms of completed counties, you're always looking to see.
How are we feeling?
When you have all the vote in a county and you compare it to the last election and you say, is there a trend? So one of the things, there's like 3 or 4 of these categories we're looking at, but one of them we've said is the rural counties in Georgia, the heavily Republican rural counties, and it's very consistent. We now have 15, maybe 20 of them that are basically complete right now. Very small, but in just about
There's still a lot of votes to be made in a lot of these counties.
0 to 3 points better than he did in 2020. And that was one of our questions in Georgia. Is Trump going to slip a couple of potentially critical points in his core parts of the state? So we are not seeing that there. But there's a lot more, obviously, we're going to be looking for as Georgia continues to come in.
Oh, what just happened? Just stop talking? Yeah, Georgia going red, North Carolina going blue is something that I could see, and Kamala Rust Belt. That feels right. People are freaking out about Virginia on Reddit because they are dumb. Anything on the feeds? Will there be any surprises? Here, Final Four. What is closing at 9 p.m.? Republican win for Indiana governor. Returns from Georgia, so I'm starting the Senate. Josh Stein projected to win North Carolina's gubernatorial race. Really? Shit, fuck yeah. Who? ABC News projected that? Hell yeah. Alright. Anything new here? Nice fit. Kamala Harris wins Illinois. Okay. Almost every region of Florida shifted to the right. Seems like it. Anything from David Wasserman? Is he just gonna not say anything this election? Why Mississippi? Why is Mississippi trending? Don't show porn, please. NCPA. Yeah, at this point, I'm feeling like, here, you know what I want to do? Are there any odd states currently favored? So, we have a red Florida for sure. Everything else is not too odd so far. Indiana's red, Kentucky's red, Tennessee's red. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Yeah, this doesn't really change much, except does seem likely that Trump will win in this scenario. And I'm going to update this next time we get a call. Oh wait, no, this one isn't. Illinois isn't calling yet on this. Okay. I'm gonna look at the New York Times. Yeah, this is starting to lean R, but I'm still not too worried because we just have so many votes from so many solid places for Democrats left. But it might end up that this is a days-long affair. Which I don't think anyone really wants. But what can you do? Dogs! Dogs! Corgi. German Shepherd. Puggle? French Bulldog. Dog. Doggies. Dog. 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 Delaware race call. Did I select Delaware on this? I'm sure that'll change things, yeah. Sure, I'm gonna have to get kind of the fact. I mean, some states are counting all their shit quickly. Wait, what do you mean by provisional ballots? Are you talking about mail-in ballots? North Carolina remains blah. But slightly favored to win. Senator Ted Cruz's election party. What happens if we so if we make this red, it becomes a lot better for Trump. We make this blue. It's a hair's win pretty much. What happens if we make North Carolina blue? Yeah, this is the scenario where she sweeps the Rust Belt. This is feeling like what's going to end up happening.
Up one seat for the Senate at this hour, 42 to 33. We continue to watch this
very quickly. Hallie, taking
a
step back,
those.
Republicans need 2
How many of them are
This is a
there?
map that is very difficult for Democrats to hold on to their Senate
I don't
races.
think that's, I mean, unless it's really tight, I don't think it's going to be making much of a difference in many places.
Republicans feel very
And is that thing
confident
everywhere?
about they think they'll be able to get. I will tell you that Ohio Senate race being too early to call is interesting. I talked with one Senate Republican source who said, you know, they would have loved to see that call an hour ago, right? They would have loved to have had that in the bag,
Yeah.
these 2-seat pickups earlier in the night, Savannah. But we'll wait and see how this one goes.
Okay, we are just coming up the top of the hour. We're going to have some major
Needles
battleground poll
going.
closings coming up. And we continue to cover,
and Wisconsin,
Michigan.
Arizona, all coming up. So this is a
Oh,
the drama
please,
beginning
come
to
on.
clearly build right now. The votes are being counted, and again, we'll get those closings here very shortly. Let's check back into the presidential race on the road to 270. All right, it is 8:51 in the East, and here is where we stand right now on the road to 270. And it has been a night of big surprises so far, with more to come. We're now just minutes away from additional closings.
Yeah, we are, and we see that.
I thought they were going to make a projection.
Out, so we will watch for those next poll closings. It's in all corners of the country now, almost at 9 o'clock in the East Coast, and they're some of the biggest states to close yet.
At the top of the hour, a major round of poll closings with the most battleground states of the entire night.
Okay. All right. That's a, yeah, that is a fuck ton.
63 electoral college votes up for grabs, including 3.
I didn't know that was the thing.
Will Vice President Kamala Harris hold on to the blue wall that cuts through Wisconsin?
I think I showed my ID when I went in person here. Did I? I think they might have looked me up on a computer.
Break through like he did in 2016.
And then for my mail-in ballot, I just signed.
The first Western battleground.
Well, I requested it online. I think I put in information for that.
Hello, Arizona. We love you,
Arizona, we need to fight this battle on every front.
That makes sense. It's a thing, though. That is a good thing. Don't want to have to stop someone from voting when they can legitimately vote.
As our decision desk gets ready to make new calls on the road to 270.
15 more states.
Many votes to be counted. Battlegrounds
Oh,
all
boy.
coming in. Michigan has 15 electoral votes up for grabs, a key state. And Jesse Kirsch in Detroit for us today.
Who's this guy?
Jesse, the polls
Well,
are
what's this
just
angle?
about to close moments away. What do you expect? What are you hearing?
Yeah, so Savannah, statewide, they close at 9 p.m. Eastern, but here in Detroit, in the East Coast time zone, the polls have been closed for almost an hour. You can see this ballot drop box is sealed off here. However, despite all of that, we're going to move down the block here. This is the city elections office, And what we've got going on here is people who have been in line well past when the polls officially closed.
Yeah, I did early voting
to vote. And inside,
when I did vote in person.
People in that line, we had people telling us
and I may have used my ID. Don't remember.
One young woman told us that she almost got out of line because of that duration, dealing with logistics as well as just waiting to be able to.
There were fucking bomb threats called out places. That's fucking insane. It is disgusting how fucking. How do I say it?
At that time,
poorly
people were going to be allowed to go through the registration
people
process,
some people treat Republicans.
Through that at this hour. This is a traditional Democratic stronghold. The city of
wait, what? Wait, no. Wait, how Republicans treat democracy poorly? Oh man, it's we still got many hours to go.
Fuck. Other potential headwinds that could send traditionally Republican voters toward the vice president. We will have a clear answer as those results start coming in at 9 p.m.
Who said Blancis? Yeah, Kamala winning Kansas. Kamala winning Kansas was a possibility I heard floated around based on the Iowa poll.
Let's go to Arizona. The Mountain West
Doubt,
polls
though.
closed. Gotti Schwartz, they're outside a polling place.
They got glow sticks.
Yeah,
Ted Cruz leading Senate.
6 minutes here. This is the end of the line.
Sherrod Brown still leading Ohio. Good.
Wait here. So you got the people that are at the
Nothing from Wisconsin yet.
Probably about 300 to 400 people in front of them.
Pennsylvania senator still leading currently.
Gender divide is very much in play.
No competitive races called yet.
There's been so much talk about
no surprise switches in any houses races. Josh Stein projected one.
The involvement of fraternities.
Perfect.
Normally,
Good.
fraternities, they may.
He's carried. Donald Trump has won Florida by 13 points. Holy fuck, man. The first few Georgia precincts reporting election day votes show Harris doing better than we expected, but she is not winning the election day votes by margins she needs to win the state. That said, it's still early. Only about 10% of the election day vote has been counted, and that's mostly from rural areas. That's concerning. But I think Kamala can lose Georgia. I think at this point, her most likely path to victory is something like, let's see if I still have this up. Like, I think we got like, New Mexico's blue, right? Oh. Fuck, where'd I go? Something like... Maine has like one district, and it's like something like that. And then... I could see her still winning in these states. I could also see her losing both of these states. Something like this feels pretty likely to me at this point. She could even still pick up Iowa just because I put so much faith in Ann Selzer. But she doesn't really need to at all. She could also pick up Arizona and Nevada. I feel like that's not necessarily a given loss due to Florida and Georgia. I think she could still get one. It might also be rough with the Hispanics. Well, the Rust Belt is very tightly linked. You could also potentially flip Ohio in this scenario, but that would be very tight, even if she did. Then you could also and this gives us some wiggle room, right? Like, what could she still lose? She could still lose one of these. She could lose Pennsylvania. if she picks up North Carolina here. And Michigan and Wisconsin. But it wouldn't make any sense, really. There's not really, you don't really, like, these states aren't going to split. They aren't really going to split. It could happen, but it probably won't. So.
Trump orbit folks that I'm talking to think that there is a likelihood of perhaps ticket splitters in those states, people who will back these abortion ballot initiatives, but who will also back former President Trump. But you have seen the vice president hammer this in the state of Georgia.
That one
sucks. The state of Texas, which nobody really thinks is going to flip blue in the presidential race,
it's such a fucking shitty system. You need 60% of the vote for a ballot measure to pass? Man, fuck you. Ballot amendments. Is there like some result thing I can look to see all of them, like all the abortion shit? Man, that's fucking stupid. No, what the fuck is this? Oh shit, polls is closed. Oh shit.
Pollster there, Gold Standard pollster, thought perhaps the abortion issue was motivating these older white women, right? A demographic we've been watching tonight.
And Chuck, well, let's go to the election and we'll move right here. As we get some more poll closings here, we can give a few more characterizations. In just 3 seconds, all of these states will see their polls closed, and we'll begin counting the votes. Here is
it's just blatantly anti-democratic.
Just talking about Donald Trump will win in the state of Texas when all the votes are counted.
So sad.
NBC projects that Donald Trump will also win in North Dakota tonight. South Dakota, same story. That will also go into the Donald Trump column this evening. We move to the state of Wyoming. In 3 electoral votes at stake, Donald Trump, the projected winner in Wyoming. Here's the map. The road to 270 now getting interesting. 154 for Donald Trump, 30 for Kamala Harris.
Let's take a look at this.
All right, let's go to the uncalled races.
Where the fuck is the thingy? Where is the thingy?
Including New York, Colorado, Minnesota. So we still await results there. But let's go to Michigan.
Where'd it go?
At this
Did I lose it?
polls closing in Michigan. And
Did I close it?
Wait for it.
Is it
Too
this?
early to call. We will be waiting for it perhaps into the wee hours tonight. Arizona also too early to call. 7 o'clock.
Here we go.
9 o'clock on the East Coast. Polls
Red.
just closed there. Let's go to Wisconsin.
Did they say North Dakota or South Dakota? Did they declare them both? I don't think they did. They did. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. They haven't called Texas on this one. I don't know why. Yeah. Let's see how the needle's looking. Pretty much no change. That is when somebody cites you're getting their info. Yeah, I noticed earlier, like I was looking directly at the Associated Press, which I figured would be the best source. And they were like reporting early on some Georgia counties saying that they had 70% of the vote in from them, while other sites were all saying like 30%, but they all had the same number of votes. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here? What does this mean? This doesn't make any sense. Donald Trump won Louisiana. Whoa. Christian Gillibrand wins re-election in New York. Kamala Harris wins New York. Whoa. Crazy stuff. What's the other one I said? I don't fucking remember. Stupid. God damn it.
In 2016, and they just got bluer and bluer. And you can see what's happening here. 16% of the vote is in, but she's at 60. Biden was at 58. Let's keep going around here. Douglas County,
Board of Elections.
in. Here we go. Harris.
I just like the fancy like visuals and stuff. I don't know how those are.
We kind of move a little out the suburbs, the exurbs, if you will. 69%. Look at where Harris is tonight. 74%. She's running up that vote in the Atlanta metro region. If she can keep that momentum going, she could possibly take the state of Georgia. But again, we're we got to wait and see. I want to see how Trump is doing in some of his rural counties. 78%, 95% of the vote is in. So 78% in 2020. He's at 78 right now. Let me go to a neighboring Towns County right here. 8180, and then in Union. 8180. He seems to be hitting his
pick the
mark
specific
to,
county.
Hit some sort of swing counties, if you will. Dooley is one of these. Trump won it in 2016, but if we go back, Obama had it in 2012.
Interesting.
Tonight, Trump is up. He's building.
This is probably like
that's a good sign for him. Let me see if
best
Peach County is
one.
in. Peach County is another one that
The best way to do these things to get direct from Board of Elections.
But it usually sort of picks the winner. We like to watch it as we go around.
But for getting the overview of like what's going on in the whole country and everything, I do like my maps.
Trump could make inroads with black voters here. Harris seems to be comfortable. She seems to be at the same watermark where Biden was in 2020. So guys, still very close in Georgia. As we said, too close to call. It was about 12,000 votes that separated this in 2020.
Close in Michigan,
Trump won this state by about 5
Hour
percentage
ago,
points in 2016. The state is definitely changing, and the reason why
keeping
it's
a
changing,
close eye on the Senate race in Michigan.
Go for North Carolina. I'd love to see North Carolina numbers. I mean, these numbers are coming in as we speak.
Yeah, let's hit North Carolina
battleground.
again. We're going to look at all the state. I'm going to be looking at Mecklenburg County. This is where Democrats have to drive up the vote. Only 6% is in, but we can see how she's performing here. You know, 6% is in. I'm not going to really draw too much from there, but she's overperforming Biden. We go to the research triangle here. Wake County.
Nothing. Governor DeSantis, did he do something? Amendment 3 has failed. Amendment 4 has failed. What were those amendments? Perhaps New York Times can tell me if I go to the specific state. Nebraska's 2nd district, a place to watch. Okay, state results. Texas, T. There we go. Nothing about the ballot measures. Fucking annoying. Here. Texas Board of Elections results. How about this? Ignore that. Wait. Since how long has my background been the fucking web page? Fuck. I didn't realize that. When did that happen? Is it when I switched? Aw, fuck. Man, now I feel stupid. It's supposed to be full screen. Fuck. Probably when I came back from being AFK. Ballot measures. Election date, turnout, county election information. Man. NPR? You got any ballot? Man, fuck you.
See where else in the state that we're still waiting on vote, because there are a lot of rural counties. Listen, if right now, let me go to the entire state. So 41%.
Let's see what random social media is saying.
Giant circle around Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte, a lot of that vote, Mecklenburg County, it's a county that is majority minority, right? Mostly black and Hispanic, and they're still waiting a lot of the vote there. That could be a very good sign for Democrats tonight. But some of the vote is out, like in these rural counties right here. If we check out Johnson County, just outside of Raleigh, connected to that, I'm actually kind of curious, even though only 8% is in here. This was a county that they were looking at to see if Democrats could make inroads there. It looks to be about the same, only 8% in, guys. But we're going to keep a close eye on North Carolina as more of this map gets filled out.
All right, so here's where we are, 7 minutes after 9 o'clock in the East Coast. 6 polls have closed now of 6 of 7 battleground states. Still waiting, obviously, for the 7th. Hallie, you heard the numbers. Break it down how we're viewing it through the lens of
through the exit polls, which are coming in. And I got to give the grain of salt caveat,
exit polls, okay.
These numbers don't get finalized until closer to Thanksgiving, right? So we don't want to overread into them, but they are an indication of where things stand. And what I'm looking at, given that polls have just closed now in the rest of the blue wall states, Michigan and Wisconsin, here's something interesting. Look at the youth vote here. This is a little tricky to look at, but I'm going to walk you through it. Look at Vice President Kamala Harris. She is winning younger voters under the age of 30 in Wisconsin, but Donald Trump is right on her heels there with 47%. He is actually winning younger voters in Michigan, 51% to 46%. And if you take a look even further into this, you can see that he is overperforming where he was among young voters in the state of Wisconsin, 47% now. That's a double-digit increase from where he was 4 years ago. It's a similar story in Michigan, and I will also tell you it is a similar story in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania as well. You see the Michigan numbers here. Similar story in Pennsylvania as well when it comes to young voters. Now, we've been doing a lot of counterpoint tonight, so let me fill you in as I walk back to the desk. One of the counterpoints here is in Michigan and Wisconsin, Vice President Harris is doing better with older voters than she was relative to 2020. So there's some interesting dynamics at play here.
Well, it's interesting because we saw Gadi Schwartz in Arizona on the campus of Arizona State University, which gives me personal pain as a graduate of the University of Arizona. But I mean, he may be in ground zero of this very thing that exit poll is showing, which is
I don't know if they don't show the exit polls as results though. I think the results are only like literal counts they get.
Talking about this Joe Rogan podcast, can't say I'm a regular.
At least at home.
He endorsed on the eve of the election, and that was extremely influential.
It could be very influential. And remember, in some of these states, you have same-day voter registration, and who takes the most advantage of it? Younger voters.
North Carolina is leaning Trump now.
A lot of Democrats were very optimistic about some of their chances in some of the big Midwestern states for House, Senate, and the presidency, because unlike 2020. The Ann Arbor kids are going to vote in Michigan.
I don't know if we're going to know today.
They voted in their home state. The Iowa City kids in Iowa, the Madison kids, and that this time they were all going to actually be in the battleground states.
Because of the pandemic, they were home.
The pandemic, they were.
Has been lower than they need. You know, when Barack Obama ran and won the state in 2008, he did very well, won a lot of these counties. The question was, would Democrats improve in these counties tonight? What they've said about the ground game, maybe having Harris at the top of the ticket.
No, he's not. I don't know why people are panicking about it.
This county looks like it's going to flip. Joe Biden won this by 4 points 4 years ago.
It's still likely deep. There's 50% of the vote coming in.
Anson County again, rural, large African American population.
Am I gonna? Oh, is Kamala Harris gonna flip Kansas? Is Kamala Harris gonna flip Missouri? No, she's not.
Vance County here, large, rural, African American heavy population. Biden won it by 19 tonight. Harris, just about all the vote in, is winning it by less, only 12 points right there. You can go next door to Warren County, 26 for Biden tonight, 20 for Kamala Harris, just about all the vote in. I think you might be starting to see the pattern here. Bertie County, majority African American, rural. Biden, 21.5 points 4 years ago. Tonight, about 17 points. Still a little bit to come there, but Harris behind the Biden number so far. You could look down at Martin County. Again, large black population. Trump 5 4 years ago. Tonight, 13, with about 20% more to come. That's the pattern we're seeing very clearly, I think, in these rural counties with significant African-American populations where turnout and support level was a concern for Democrats. One thing you have to add in a lot of these counties, too, is that it may not just be turnout. There is also declining population in a lot of these counties, too, that might be affecting Democrats as well. But again, that's a pretty clear pattern right there. The other pattern that we're seeing in North Carolina statewide, we're tracking this is because, again, a lot of what comes out first in these counties is the early vote, it's the in-person vote, it's the mail-in vote. Then what comes.
Yeah, I am getting the feeling we're not going to know tonight, frankly, because, like, it's too close. It's too close. Ideally, like, if it was like a Kamala blowout, or even if it was a Trump blowout, we would know from, like Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, all those states early. Now that's just toss up. We just have to wait on the votes. The rest spell counts, which are going to take longer. Arizona, don't know how long that's going to take. Arizona and Nevada both say here that it could take up to multiple days, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll take multiple days for it to be called, just for the full count. New updates. County elections official office in Arizona gets a bomb threat. Great. Is Ohio called? Going on.
What I'm told by the raw data, emphasis on the raw data they're seeing. So they don't want to speak.
Yep, Ohio's called.
They feel all right.
Yeah, Simone, what is worrying the Harris camp right now, looking at it from the other end of the glass?
Well, the lines are very long, and they want people to stay in line, Lester. I'm told that actually in Pennsylvania specifically, celebrities are FaceTiming in to the people who are in line, encouraging them to stay in line. So the
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Saying, hey, so-and-so is on the line.
I mean, hey, if it helps, sure.
They are looking at Pennsylvania very closely, and as the time that the vice president spent in the state, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I think is also indicative of where they see some gaps. Also, obviously, DeKalb County, in Georgia, the lines, the polling locations were staying open longer because of the bomb threats.
We're getting some Iowa finally.
That had to happen, encouraging people to know that it is safe to vote, stay in line, make your voice count. I think they want to ensure, they feel like that they can eke it out.
Was she wrong?
People turn out to vote and stay in line.
All right.
Anything interesting happening on this front?
Thanks very much.
We want to turn now to Garrett Haake,
Florida
the Trump headquarters
Republicans.
in West Palm Beach, Florida. And we just got the inside scoop from the Harris campaign. So what are you hearing from the Trump campaign about what they're seeing in these battleground states in the early going?
This is slightly going down. Cool.
Savannah, the Trump campaign
Needle is getting closer to lean Republican here.
Wisconsin, specifically among black voters, they're pointing to our exit poll, which shows Donald Trump more than doubling his support among African Americans in Wisconsin. I cannot emphasize enough how much this has been an emphasis for the Trump campaign to try to improve their margins. They got blown out with African American voters in 2020. If they were able to move the percentage that they got from 8% to 10, 12, 15, in this case,
Virginia's called by decision Desk HQ, which makes sense. It was never in contest. I don't know why people were freaking out so much about it.
They spent heavily on television, they spent heavily on African American media, trying to find celebrity validators for Donald Trump, and particularly to reach out to young men. If Trump pulls this off tonight or in the days to come, those small changes at the margins among African American men, I think, will be a huge part of this story.
All right, Garrett, thank you. I want to go over to Peter Alexander at
Nope,
Harris
legalizing
headquarters,
marijuana
Washington,
also
D.C.
failed.
And how's the feeling there? What's the vibe?
Well, there's still a celebratory feel here right now. They're waiting for any particular data points that they can know if it's a good indication or not. The Harris campaign.
Fucking ad. Ignore the ad. The ad isn't happening. Pretend it's not happening. Don't worry about it.
Donors and other big supporters of the vice presidents at a hotel here in Washington, D.C., watching as well before they arrive here a little bit later this evening. I'll tell you some of the data points that they are pointing to right now is potentially some good indicators.
They're vibing. That guy's vibing.
Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, specifically as it relates to those 3 wards with the largest densities of Puerto Rican voters right now, that they say in those particular wards that they saw as of 5 o'clock, 3 hours before the polls closed, they already reached the same number in terms of turnout as they had 4 years ago, which is to say that they believe that they are exceeding the numbers in the past. They think that's a good indication there. Punctuated thought that Simone Sanders was just sharing a short time ago. I am hearing again about those college campuses right now, everywhere from
Needle is now leading Trump with a 66% chance of victory.
In Philadelphia itself, Temple, one of them that they named, Lehigh, Lafayette, elsewhere in the state as well. And
concerning
about what is really key to the campaign right now in these sort of late evening hours, even after the polls have closed. They don't close if you were already in line. It's a message that they're sharing right now, FaceTiming in Jennifer Gardner and Jimmy Moore, among others, to keep those folks in line.
Renaki saying anything? Nope. And it accidentally just moved it off. There we go. There's too much happening. Okay, there we go.
To call here, Louisiana, no big surprise, but if you're filling out your map at home, you can add Louisiana there. Just 22% of the vote counted, but again, the margin expected to be rather large. So here's the map for those watching at home. The South, of course, reliably red for Donald Trump, and at this early hour, he is far out in front.
Can we get any Switch 2? Yo, how's the Switch 2 doing, guys? What are the fellows saying? Trump is running 0.3 points ahead after expectations. And new updates here. lengthy. Ask for patience when it comes to lengthy vote counting process. Woohoo! This is gonna be fun.
One of the hallmarks of American elections is that there's a lot of waiting. The 2020 presidential contest, for example, wasn't called until 4 days after the election. As we look ahead to the 2024
man, I don't want to wait that long.
Some more waiting on election night. There's no national body that administers the election, so every state plus the District of Columbia gets to decide how they run their elections and when. States can make very different decisions, and those decisions have downstream effects on how long it takes to count their votes. Some of the factors that may make a count take longer are having a lot of mail.
Nothing too interesting there. I'm getting 2020 vibes. Yeah, with how it's going, it is feeling like, man, I mean, I don't know when we definitively say that, like, yeah, it's going to take a few days.
Like in Douglas have achieved what they want.
I don't really want to go to 3 a.m. if we're not really getting anything, you know?
In 2020, just about all in. Now Harris has it north of 30 points. That is something Democrats want to see there. So again, we zoom out statewide. It's a 6-point lead right now. We could also check in if you want. We could just take a look. We've got them marked off on here. I'll show you. This is, we were talking about this in North Carolina, same in Georgia. There's a lot of rural counties with large African-American populations, and the question for Democrats is, you know, can they improve? They'd like to improve turnout-wise, vote performance-wise, obviously, relative to last time. So again, I think we showed you earlier, Baldwin's just about all in. This is a change. This was a blue county in 2020. It's flipped over to Trump. All the vote is in right now. Look, you can see here, Wilkes County, just about all the vote is in. Trump by 17. Trump won this thing, you know, by about 13.
A lot of people getting upset.
2020, so
this is so stupid. This is like
we saw in North Carolina, Randolph County, you know, very small, but a lot of this is.
These people complain about how Trump is already winning. He's not. It's so. These people are like toddlers. It's like we have so much to go.
Differences in a state like Georgia can make all the difference. Where of all these millions of votes, we expect about 5 million votes. And in 2020, it was separated by 12,000 of them. So again, if there's any slippage for Democrats here off that 2020 number in full, that's a very bad sign for them. And they are at right now. You know, Harris is at 72.6. This is the biggest single county in Georgia. 72.6, 72.6. If this number starts dropping with the remaining remaining same-day vote to come in, even though that looks like an enormous Democratic win, and by numbers it may not be enormous enough. The Democrats don't want any slippage there, so we'll be paying close attention to that one too, Rachel, as we get more from Georgia.
I wish we could hear the other people in the fucking room when I talk to him. Kind of stupid. Man, just some dude. What's going on here? Just some random place in Texas who's gonna look at their projector? Yep, flipped Miami-Dade. Energy's upbeat at a crowded watch party for Ohio Democrats. I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm already feeling kind of like the wind's out of my sails. It's pretty early into the night, just because we haven't really found like anything out in the past like 3 hours. I mean, Where's Georgia? Georgia, do you G? G. Where is G? Am I smart? Yes, okay, okay. Oh, fuck. Here we go.
And still so many, the bulk of states right
Too
there in the middle,
early,
and
too
still so many
early,
people still
too
voting
early,
along the
too
West Coast in
early.
places like Hawaii and Alaska.
New York
as
is
well.
too
Let's
early.
remind you and walk you through the paths
There's
that each
a
candidate
few weird
hopes
ones there.
to take to get to the White House. Let's start with Vice President Kamala Harris. We'll click her in here, get to 2024. This is the predetermined map of how the states voted in 2020 and then the 7 battlegrounds that will be decided tonight. So her easiest path is Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. She holds that blue wall. If she can do that, she gets to 270. If she's having a very rough night and she loses Pennsylvania, loses Michigan, loses Wisconsin, she has other paths, but she does have a Sunbelt path where if she can flip North Carolina, hold Georgia, hold Arizona, and get Nevada, hold it once again, she gets there as well. That path, though, would give Democrats heart palpitations. As far as former President Trump, his easiest route, just think of the east side. He holds Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, he flips Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna take a break, piss,
he flips Georgia
decide
back,
if
he gets to 270. But if he can't win
how long we're gonna
has to
keep
win
going,
somewhere else
see
in
how
the
we
blue
feel.
wall. He has to break
Because yeah,
through the blue wall. That's the main difference between his
I don't
path
think that's
and
gonna
the
be
Vice
called
President's
tonight.
path.
I'm gonna think
There's a
about it a
path
bit
for
more.
her, even though she doesn't win
We'll
any
see
of
what's
these
up.
big Midwest states, but for him, he has to win one of them. If he wins,
well, right, but that's about
Hello, all right. I'm gonna see what's going on here. See what's new while I was laying in bed for like 15 minutes or something. I don't know if anything is new. Oh well, it seems Trump's chances are down a little bit. I'm still have to believe that this isn't going to get called tonight. I'm gonna look for a little bit longer. We'll see how it goes. See what it's looking like right now, and if I'm still feeling the same way, we'll end, because then there's just not much point to it. Like, kind of like, you know, digging for scraps and the results for the rest of, for like another 6 hours, you know? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, coming down to Pennsylvania sounds about right. Let's check the needle over here. Let's refresh to make sure this is all good. Leaning Trump. North Carolina's leaning Trump. Less than it was before. And Georgia is also leaning Trump. Iowa's getting some votes in, which is interesting because of the Seltzer poll. We can see how true that was. Georgia doesn't seem to have changed much. It's got 77% of votes in. That'll probably end up getting declared by the end of the night or something, though, because they're supposed to be counting fast. They're supposed to be. Maybe they won't, though. Maybe it will end up getting declared. North Carolina, close. Pennsylvania, only 31% of votes in. Michigan, only 13%. How's she doing comparatively? And when you look at Detroit, she's doing worse in Detroit, from what I could tell. Am I looking at the right county? Wayne County? She's doing way worse than Biden was. I assume there's something to 1% of votes in. That's why. Okay. New Mexico. Let's check in with the news station, see if they're talking about anything in particular.
People could vote in other parts of the state if they weren't able to vote in their home county. It's interesting. I was going through the numbers. It doesn't look like there's any kind of drop-off there. That's actually better news for the president because there are more Trump voters out there in the western part of the state, with the exception of the blue dots like Asheville, places like that. Here's where a lot of the vote is still out.
He doesn't say anything.
Mecklenburg.
Fucking Wasserman. Trump saying anything fun? Awesome. Democrat looking for an upset. Nice. An independent win Nebraska Senate race. That would be quite interesting. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Anything new about the needle? Why is cheating trending? I mean, because if Trump wins Georgia or North Carolina, or with it coming down this close, we wouldn't even know if he does this day. North Carolina will probably be reported by tonight. Georgia could end up going down for a while if it's close, which it is. So he's not saying anything.
Vote in to even compare it. I do want to talk about the triad. This is, again, sometimes the forgotten metro area, but huge population center for North Carolina. A lot of the historically black universities are here as well. Greensboro, Guilford County, 55% in. Let's see how she's doing compared to Biden. Look, she's
VA isn't a contest. Let's
see how Trump's doing, though, in some of the
Kamala's leading in Missouri.
Drive up the vote. Robeson,
Kamala's leading in Iowa.
20% in. He's overperforming there. I want to go a little closer to Charlotte.
What? Do you seriously think Trump's going to win Virginia?
Right above South Carolina. Seems to be holding his own. Anson, 92% in. This is actually a big flip.
This is like basic election shit.
So this is interesting. Clinton won in 2016, Biden won in 2020 with 92% of the vote in.
The results get counted,
not a large county,
and it's not like proportional. They know it's not going to be the exact right percentages at the start. Sometimes you count Republican votes first by happenstance. Sometimes count Democrat.
Trump won in 2020. That's why we're watching it so close. It was
63% in.
Margin.
That's fucking.
Vote is in. We're still watching and waiting here.
Yeah.
As soon as we can make a call again too early, you know we're going to project it, guys.
Tom, you had a little something for everybody in that. No matter who you're rooting for. We got a couple of results to read to you right now. These are ballot measures. We saw the abortion
ballot
measure
measures.
Go down
Yes,
to defeat
please.
In Florida, it had a 60% threshold.
Sweet.
In New York, it passes easily. 71% of the vote is the margin there. We'll go to Maryland. There was also an abortion rights measure, and that easily passes as well. Both of those blue states. I'll bring Laura Jarrett into this conversation because we do have 10 states that have these ballot measures.
Yeah, what are the other states? I don't know what all the other states are.
Have hoped that would
I knew one was Florida.
help their fortunes, and especially in these battleground states.
New York, obviously not a place where people think of abortion rights under threat, but the initiative there was broader than just about abortion. It had to do with anti-discrimination principles more generally, reproductive health care a part of that, but it was also about pregnancy and the like, and so that's why it was even on the ballot in a place like New York. But you think about a place like South Dakota, a completely different story. We still have to wait to see what happens there. Arizona, a different story. Missouri, we still don't have enough in to be able
Abortion
to
generally is just an issue. People want abortion to be legal. The majority of Americans do. Even in red states.
Nebraska has two measures, doesn't it?
It does.
1 for, 1 against.
1 for, 1 against, and so we'll see how that one shakes out.
Trump is a clear favorite in Georgia.
The one that has the majority.
69% chance of victory for Trump.
And other states that went this road prior to tonight.
Many states that had went this road and had been able to reach the threshold to pass it, Lester. That's why the Florida situation was interesting, obviously, as we've been discussing, different because of
Still
the
nothing
threshold
competitive
there.
declared
Places like
from
Michigan, places like
the House.
Ohio had managed to get it through in the past.
We have another presidential projection here we can put up on the screen here
What?
and walk you through it. I see it as you see it.
Trump
NBC
wins
News
Ohio.
projects Donald Trump will take
That wasn't
the state
projected
of
already?
Ohio with 17 electoral votes. There is the breakdown of 441,000 vote difference now. 64% of the vote in Ohio. And again, Donald Trump is the winner there. And there's where it takes us on the road to 270. Donald Trump out in front with 185 electoral votes. Harris with 81.
All right, let's go to Savannah Sellers. We always need not one, but two Savannahs sitting at the desk at any time, if possible. Exactly. Savannah, I mean, you've been looking a lot into the youth vote, and we were just talking about abortion. And for young women, that obviously is a galvanizing issue for many of them.
It certainly is. For young women, it is their top issue, and that's where we're really seeing a huge gender divide also. For young women, 42% saying it is their top issue to just 10% of men saying that it's their top issue. When you talk about
House
men,
members,
it's what you guys were mentioning
right.
earlier, the threats to democracy is up there as well as the economy. So certain states too where we are seeing, I know we're
24 supporters of Dan Osborne, the independent, in the Senate for Nebraska.
In North Carolina, when I came to set just a little bit ago, 60% said they supported him. That's up from 42% that voted for him back in 2020. So continuing to watch that. Abortion was also one where I saw a lot of activation on those
Nothing here. Let's try clicking this hashtag and hope we don't get porn.
About getting out to vote for the presidential ticket with that being
No, we just get spam and AI art.
Being attached to Harris and within Michigan as well as in Arizona. Arizona's an interesting one.
Stay in line.
Of course, as I'm talking to the expert when it comes to Arizona, but the state of ASU.
What's that? What's happening?
Blue wall here, and we have a new characterization in the state of Wisconsin. Our decision desk now calling it too close to call. You can see Kamala Harris out front right now. 23% of the vote in there, but again, too close to call in Wisconsin. Our election night coverage continues next with another batch of poll closings, including a critical swing state. We hope you can stay with us.
All right. He looks like fucking Jerma. Like when he does the sus face, the imposter face. I don't know what you fucking call it. I sound like a Gen Alpha. Skibbity Riz, Ohio. Decision Desk HQ has called North Carolina for Trump. Shut the fuck up. What is that supposed to mean? So they've called Virginia for Democrats, North Carolina for Republicans. How do you feel about that, boy? Harris isn't doing as well as Biden. Election officials, the race is too early to call. I mean, if he gets Virginia, I can't imagine he gets Virginia. But if he gets Virginia, that's bad. That's like, let's play out the scenario, right? Yeah, actually. So what do we have declared? We're like Associated Press. Donald Trump. Okay, I think I have pretty much all of them already set correctly. That's becomes a pretty much surefire Trump win if he wins Virginia. I can't imagine him winning Virginia. How the fuck would he do that? Yeah, I'm hearing Trump lead for North Carolina as well. I mean, I feel like Harris is gonna sweep the Rust Belt. That's what I've been feeling. That's her path to victory at this point. I'm not like confident in North Carolina or Georgia. I think she could still win them, but I'm not feeling too confident, like super confident about it. I mean, Trump's strength once was the Rust Belt, but things have changed a lot since 2016. Donald Trump wins Missouri? No way. Trump is leading Harris by roughly 4 percentage points with more half than half. Many of the state's most populous counties haven't reported significant numbers of votes cast in person on or before Election Day. In North Carolina, votes cast before Election Day made up 83% of total votes in 2020. Oh my god. How the fuck could he? I mean, we are real fucked if he wins Virginia. That's like, then it's okay to start getting doomy. And so then it's okay to start, like, you know, shitting our pants. But people are going fucking insane right now. And I do not understand. There's no good reason to be going fucking insane and saying Trump is locked in right now. That's fucking insane. Here, let me bring up this mega thread I've been looking at on my other browser, on my other monitor. I haven't been showing it because it's fucking worthless. So American women really do want to be grabbed by the you knew what. This country is now close to electing a woman president. Ukraine is fucked. Let's see. Oh wait, I need to be looking at the new. Wait, what? But I just saw. Can someone? Let's see. Show. Feel for Ukraine. Fuck Russia winning. Everyone, quite frankly, people who vote for Trump. This is appalling. Littman calls. Who the fuck is Littman? Any reason to think it's not over? Can someone talk me off a ledge? Start deleting your pro-democratic socials and browser history and make sure you stock up on Plan B. This country hates women. Now I'm dooming. Folks dead, blah blah. I feel sick. How should I? It's like this. It isn't time. It isn't time for that. It is. We do not have the results to be making these kind of fucking conclusions and panicking. It's kind of frustrating to see all this, like, this just pointless and, like, unproductive negativity about this right now. That's based off of nothing.
Get out and vote.
Nevada, ours is a fight for the future.
Both sides going all in, trying to win the state by targeting its large population of service workers.
No tax on tips.
We will continue our fight and eliminate taxes on tips.
We're moments away from the first results from Las Vegas and the rest of the state as our decision desk gets ready to make new calls on the road to 270. And that brings us to NBC's Steve Patterson, who's
also
in Reno, the biggest little city in America.
Iowa seems fucked.
There. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Savannah, I have some bad news if you like to sleep in this state. We're maybe about 5 minutes before the polls close, or do they? And I say that because the lines are still ridiculously long. I'm in Washoe County, as you mentioned, in Reno. This is the Washoe County complex. It's like where all the government buildings are, the county clerk's office, registrar of voters. If you come this way, you can see this line snakes beyond the county recorder. That county recorder means you have 40 minutes to go left if you've reached this point. Meanwhile, though, we're hearing about lines that continue to be long all across the state. Southern Nevada, there's a place called Nye County where we're hearing lines that are up to 3 hours long. They don't have enough machines per people in that county. What that means is, unfortunately, because they cannot really release the data on how many people have voted, who has voted, some of the returns until the last person in line across the state has voted. It means numbers are going to be very slow. They can obviously tabulate.
I mean, I doubt Nevada and like Arizona are really going to be like the tipping point or anything.
Person has left the line, which means it's going to mean a lot more coffee tonight for people that are trying to watch the vote. Also, one thing to keep track of, the nonpartisan vote. That's the reason why we're in Washoe County. This is an incredibly purple county. People vote the issues, they vote their feelings. They don't vote party line, which leads us to talk about nonpartisans. It is a third of the electorate in this state, higher share than Republicans, higher share than Democrats. These folks, we're not sure which way they're going to vote, which has been confounding pundits, and it's been really tough.
I don't think we're going to get a winner today. I don't think we are. I mean, by today, I mean like even counting the early AM hours of the next day, tomorrow, I don't think we're getting the winner. I think we're gonna get. Let's look at the results here. I mean, nope, wrong thing. Right now we have a lean Trump. Georgia's last bit is going to take forever. It's already been counting for a long time. Michigan is going real slow. Pennsylvania is going to take days, and it's likely going to come down to Pennsylvania. North Carolina is going to take night. And these are like these three states. These are what's going to determine the election, and we will be waiting. Unless, I mean, even if Trump gets Georgia and North Carolina, we still won't know who won the election. These are still, it's a very close race overall. We're just not going to know. And with that, I think I'm going to end the stream for now, because we're just not really going anywhere much. There's not really much to dig into or talk about at this point, with how slow they're coming in. I may resume the stream in a few hours. Maybe I'll just take a break, regain some energy, depending on if things start picking up again. But right now, I would say don't count on it. Don't count for a winner to be elected this night. It's not seeming like it. We are gonna raid into someone because I remember that we can raid today. And that'll be Everything Now show, because they're fucking amazing and they're doing their election. They're doing their fucking breaking news format, and they're funny and shit. Let's get that started. Oh fuck. This thing starts in 17 seconds. Let's wait. Maybe if we wait for them to start. So yeah, follow me on my Fediverse profile, which you can follow now from Blue Sky. And I will still be fucking making posts about the election, because what else am I going to think about all day still? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, I did not ask you specifically. Fuck you. But you can make a Blue Sky account. You can make it's better than Twitter. Don't fucking use Twitter, guys. What the fuck are you doing? It's 2024. Stop it. Stop. Let's pray Harris wins. Follow me on Fedi. Follow the Twitch account. Follow the YouTube. Whatever the fuck. Go to my website. Follow me on Blue Sky. It's like Fedi.bluesdriveamelia.space on there, which is a bridge for my Fediverse account. And you follow the bridge thing and everything. All right. We're going to raid in. Watch that. I'm going to be watching that. It's fun. I'll see y'all. Bye-bye.